Welcome to Leicester Fan TV and to today's live match day watch along. It's the first game of the Premier League season, Wolverhampton Wanderers versus Leicester City. Make sure that you're joining us live today. And if you're watching this in a follow-up later on, make sure that you are following us on our social medias and join us live. Get your views in, get your comments in, and let's get this watch along underway.
Welcome to Leicester Fan TV. Are you ready for the watch along? Thanks to our sponsors, ADT Taxis, Everards, Pukka Pies, Pink Car Leasing, Leicester Riders, Hollogram, The Fox's Arms, Peter's Pizzeria, and Hope Against Cancer. We want your views, we want your comments, so join us live. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yes, welcome to Leicester Fan TV. It is the first game of the Premier League season. Get your views in, get your comments in. Are you excited? I'm excited. Let's get talking about the match of the day. Leicester versus Wolves. What kind of results can we be expecting? We'll be adding Jono into the stream in just a moment. And let's get talking about today's match. Jono, how you doing?
I'm not bad, thanks, man. How are you?
I'm doing well. So, right off the bat, we got a good signing coming in early on. Yannick Lestergard. How are you feeling about that?
Good signing. Good centre-back. Lots of experience. He'll come straight into this first team, I hope. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely. The signing was announced rather recently. And, of course, I personally think that he's probably not going to be in the off-the-bat starting lineup. He did get the chance to train with the team yesterday. However, I think that he's probably going to be brought on as a substitute. What do you think? Do you think we can expect to see him in the starting lineup?
I'm just checking that now. He is not in the starting lineup. The starting lineup is Schmeichel in goal, Thomas left back, Soyuncu and Amati centre back, Ricardo right back, Ndidi Tielemans centre mid, Barnes on the left, Paris on the right, Maddison in the middle, and Vardy up front.
That sounds like a strong lineup. I'm going to get that up on screen in just a moment. Just getting that screenshotted. And you'll have to excuse us as this is my first time hosting the watch along.
It's all right, mate.
It'll be
I think it's a great lineup. I'm surprised that Luke Thomas has started sort of in front of Bertrand. I think that's a very big surprise for me. I don't think he would be starting. But apart from that, pretty strong lineup. I'm looking forward to James Justin coming back so Paris can not play. But apart from that, Amati deserves his place. He played phenomenal. Again in the Community Shield. So yeah, I'm happy he's starting. So yeah, overall, really strong team.
I completely agree. I would also agree that I find it a little bit odd that Bertrand isn't in the starting lineup. I think a lot of us were expecting him to start. He played really strong in pre-season. However, again, perhaps it might be the same thing that we've had a little bit of discussion around Vestergaard as well. Maybe those new signings are going to be getting eased into the Premier League a little bit, at least within Brendan Rodgers' Leicester City system. There's a lot of familiar faces that we're seeing here. Also great to see Barnes back in the lineup as well for a Premier League match.
Yes, he's looked really sharp in pre-season. He looks out full of energy. He's really sharp. So yeah, really buzzing to see Barnes back into the starting lineup. I think this is just our standard, really good team from last season. I'm looking forward to Daka coming on, Samare coming on. Probably, maybe we'll have Vestergaard in this game. Maybe I'll come on as a sub. But yeah, no, I think really good team.
Yep. So we have also just put the link into the comments. So make sure to click in and get your views in on the lineup, get your views in on the new Premier League season. Come join us. So much like we were saying, this is the first game of the new Premier League season. How are we feeling about it? The Premier League is going to be a little bit more difficult, I think. However, I think we've made some very shrewd signings. We haven't lost too much in terms of our squad depth and our squad talent. We've built well. I feel good coming into it. How are you feeling?
I'm really excited. We've made some very good signings. We haven't lost. We've only lost. Well, we've lost Gazelle. That wasn't really much of a loss, to be honest. But yeah, apart from that, we've made brilliant signings. We've got sort of definitely the whole across the field now. We could replace anybody. So yeah, really excited to have the first game of the season. Wolves, bit of a dark horse, I think, because new manager. They've got a few injuries, so we don't know how they're going to be. But no, really excited, and especially when it's at home, got the fans back. Really excited to start.
Absolutely. I think we can definitely expect to see a lot of noise coming out of the King Power today. At the same time, where do we think we're going to finish in the season? Because I've got to say, a lot of people have been predicting another 5th place finish for Leicester. So get your comments in. Let us know where you think we're going to finish. I'll be honest, I think we're going to be finishing 4th or 5th myself. We've been building well, but there's a lot of competition coming in. All of those traditional top 4 teams have been building their squads quite well along with us. I think we're going to be in for another slough the way that we were for the last couple seasons.
Yeah, I think with the squad depth we've got, I think we could do better than we did last season in terms of towards and half the season. But I think we'll come 5th only because other teams have also got the money to buy all those players, and they've got the resources to get world-class players on their bench as well as their starting 11. So I think we'll come 5th only for that reason. But I think we won't be like, oh, 5th, that's it. I think we'll have a strong contention to getting 4th. But I think towards the end of the season, we'll just finish 5th. But I think we'll also win a trophy. I think we'll go 5th in the league, but we could go for Champions League football via the Europa League. So hopefully we could do that. I
was about to say, we are seeing that from Mateus LCFC's comment here. 6th, but Europa League winners. I think we could actually see a little bit of a drop in performance in the league because we might give some focus to the cup competitions. For that, I am seeing that we've got Ross in the back room. Ross, are you ready to come on? Hey there, Ross. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. You all right?
All right, Ross. Where do you think we're going to finish this season?
Oh. Right.
It's going to get thrown into, but what do you think?
I'll say a prediction now, and then I will say, halfway through the season and see where I'm at. So, I think, 4th.
You're thinking 4th?
I think 4th, Europa League. I don't think we'll win it, but as long as we have a better campaign than what we did last season when we lost to Slavia Prague, that's okay. Well, last 32 we got to, didn't we, if I remember correctly? Was it last 32?
Yeah, last 32 was where we got knocked out last time. I personally think it's going to be inverse. If we do well in the Europa League, I think we are going to suffer a little bit in the league. Might drop down to like a 5th or a 6th. I think if we end up falling out of the Europa League pretty early, I think we'll be in there with a top 4 challenge. We are being joined by Phil at the moment as well, who is live from the King Power Stadium. Phil, are you ready to come on?
He's live from the King Power.
Phil, can you hear us?
I'm going to just go over here for a minute.
He's definitely there.
I don't think he's realised you've clicked him in.
Yeah. Phil, we'll give you a moment to see if you can get into a little bit of better reception. And then we'll add you back in.
You both doing watch along today, or is it just you, Elijah?
It is going to be the both of us doing the watch along.
Oh, nice. So
you dynamic duo.
Your subscription, yeah. You got your subscription there, Jono?
Yes, I've got my subscription.
You're live from Canada, yeah?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, you're opposite Elijah, aren't you? So I'm just at the park with my son. Having a little kick about, aren't we, Charlie? He predicted yesterday 2-0 win with You said Nacho to score both, Charlie?
Yeah.
Nacho to score both.
Nacho to score both. I like hearing that. On the note of...
So I was just saying, is it the same team as last week? Or?
Nope. Thomas is in instead of Bertrand.
Right.
And that's
Bertrand has been dropped.
So that's the team. Yeah, that's the team.
So Ricardo and Martis, Soyuncu, Thomas, Ndidi, Tielemans, Perez. All right, so it's more basically exactly the same, except instead of Bertrand, it's Thomas.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not bad. It's still a strong side. You know, obviously Nacho and Daka to come on and stuff. Obviously, can't bring on 7 subs this time like the Community Shield, but we've got 3. I think it'll be a good, tough game. Obviously, Wolves, they've got a new manager, new players. You know, they're adapting without that Nuno geezer. So, be a good game today. I look forward to it. So, yeah, I've gone for 2-0 as well. So, we're both gone for 2-0 win, haven't we, Charlie?
Who do you think will score?
Who do you think will score? Oh, me. Oh, you're asking me. I thought you were asking the host.
Well, Ross, let's get your score and your score predictions, and as well in the chat, get in your scores and your score predictions, and we will put them up on screen.
Go on, Joe. What do you think then? So, what do you think score will be first? 2-0.
Yeah.
2-0.
Nacho twice.
Nacho twice. So we're going to wait until Nacho comes on to get his goals then. And mine, I think Vardy penalty. He's always destined to get a penalty.
He loves a penalty.
And Daka, I think he'll come on, and then I'll be here promoting my TikTok video again. Have you seen it, both of you? Just out of curiosity.
Yes, I've seen it.
Have you seen it, Elijah?
I don't think I have yet, but I will.
You don't want to.
Send it. Oh, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. Listen. I know. I call them out of the day. We're not creative anymore. We're just boring. So I thought, you know what? Let's be creative for once.
Fair enough.
I'll let you go anyway, because we're just at the park. We're gonna have a bit more kickabout, and then you get ready for the. I've got to get my subscription on anyway. So.
He's been playing his Iniacho.
Yeah, he's been playing his Iniacho. So, well, good luck, boys.
Thanks,
anyway.
Ross. We'll let you
go,
Ross. I put Kevin's comment up here because this is actually how I think the scoreline is going to look. I'm thinking a 3-1. Vardy Matters Cags is an excellent prediction, in my opinion. I think we can definitely see an early Vardy penalty, much like was predicted by Ross. Hey, Tom!
And a rainy Leicester.
Hold on, mate. Undo that one. Put that into...
How's it going, Tom?
Hello?
All right, Tom, how are you?
Yeah, good, mate. How are you doing? Can you hear me, bud?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, we can.
I can't see everyone. I can see you, Jono. What's well, I've got lads here, so we'll go around them.
Yeah,
sounds good. We will
Phil,
jump off.
Let me see if we can turn the camera around on this.
Some live views from the King Power.
One of the real stuff this is. Yeah. Go on then, Phil. What's your thought of the team news?
Hi, Tom. Well, for a start, it's rainy. It's meant to be sunny on the first day of the season, isn't it? Yeah, I think it's good. We're a bit surprised that Bertrand's not in there after him playing so well last week. So I'm not sure why he's not in. What do you reckon?
I only assumed there's an injury. Brendan didn't mention anything in the run-up to the game on Thursday press conference, so I only assume that he's picked up a knock and training over the last couple of days or the last 48 hours. But nothing's been mentioned, so unless he's just strained something over the week. Tricky one because he's playing well, but Luke Thomas comes into the team, Phil.
Yeah, I think it's good. I mean, Luke Thomas played well again when he came on last week. He never let us down. Quite a lot of the fans at the booth bar here were saying about should Vestergaard start, but I think it's too soon. I know he's trained with the lads for a couple of days, but I think Marty, like you said, Tom, Marty was probably man of the match last week, so deserves to keep his spot. So I'm more than happy with Vestergaard being, I think he's on the bench, isn't he?
Yeah, Vestergaard goes onto the bench today with Danny Ward. Kieran Jupiel comes in for his Premiership debut on the bench tonight, and it's going to be an interesting one. Let's bring in Sinky. Sinky, what do you make of the team news, mate?
Yeah, obviously Bertrand was a bit of a surprise because I expected the same starting 11 as at the Community Shield. But yeah, I mean, obviously we've got a good substitute in there. Vestergaard on the bench. Maybe we'll get to see him depending on how the game goes. But I'm reasonably confident of a win. I go for 2-0. Somebody asked me earlier, so I was ready for that one. So yeah, I mean, obviously the weather's gone a bit. What's up with the weather? I just need the result now after the weather just changed and we got almost torrential rain now. But they were saving water in the pitch before the match anyway.
But it's going to slick the pitch up for the players today. Brendan's talked about this new pitch was relayed. He said at the end of last season the pitch was slow and tired.
Yeah.
And it was hampering the lads trying to play football. So no excuse for today with a fresh new pitch to go out to play on and slick conditions.
Yeah, obviously, you know, after home record, you hope to be better than last season. And the second half of the season tends to drift away as well. So let's hope that we can have a better scene with fans in. I mean, I was watching the game last night, the Brentford game, and what a great atmosphere, you know. We've seen a bit of the Man United game today already. I think it's going to be rocking in there. I think that's really going to help the players a lot.
Question, mate, what's the scoreline going to be?
I told you, 2-0.
2-0.
Hey, listen, talking of scorelines, we've got Alfie's here. Come on, Alfie. Come and give us your score prediction.
I think it's going to be 4-1 to Leicester. It's great to be back in the stadium. It's a great atmosphere. See you tomorrow, Jamie.
Yeah, where are you going tomorrow?
I'm going to Alcudia tomorrow, and I'll see Jamie in his fourth. Yeah. Yeah, 4-1 to Leicester. Come on, you Blues.
Listen, let's hope, Alfie, the weather's better. It's rubbish here today. It's meant to be nice. Look who's here. It's Sean. Come on, Sean.
Go on, Sean.
Give us your score predictions.
I think it might be 4-1.
4-1 to Leicester. Who's going to score first, Sean?
Yes.
Who's going to score?
I think Demi Vardy and Nacho and I think Guspio Enan if he's playing, and I think they might have lots of defending and I think we might win it.
Thanks for coming on, mate. Much appreciated.
Hey,
All right.
yeah, can't let Sean go till he does it. Come on, Leicester. Come on, mate.
Come on, Leicester. Come on, you can do it.
Oh, good lad, Sean.
Well done, Sean. Great to have Sean down here with us as well.
Great to have you down.
First time I've ever met him in person. Listen, Tom, I don't care how we win today, as long as we win. I really don't. I don't care if it's a rubbish game. I just want to see 3 points on the board because I think it's so important at the start of the season. That's what, for me, what it's about. Yeah, the gameplay can come 3 points.
For me, like last night, Brentford getting that first win in the Premier League, it builds confidence, especially after last week. Oh, what's going on? Especially after last week, the confidence should be high of winning the Community Shield. The lads should be buzzing going into today's game. And I mean, what can you say? The weather conditions are shocking.
No, show them.
Here's everyone piling in now. It's nice to be back here, but it would have been better on a nice sunny day.
It was sunny this morning. I was sat in the back garden getting all excited, and it's suddenly come down, and it is getting really quite wet now, Tom, isn't it? Which will change the game a bit. New pitch. I mean, Tom, you're all about the pitches. Talk us through what have they done here, sort of stuff.
Well,
I mean, it's state of the art again.
It's state of the art. I mean, they've lifted it up. They take out tons of soil, sand mix, relaid it with a drainage system now that will re-water the pitch. For any water coming out of the sky is going to land and go through and then be circulated. They've spent a lot of money on this pitch, and it was one thing last year. People can laugh, but the pitch was tied. It was a 10-year-old pitch. And when they say 10-year-old, it hadn't had the work it's had done now. We talk about the end of the season renovation, very simple, that they take the top layer off it, they put some more seed down, that's it. This year they've done the whole thing and they've gone back to basics, scrapped the whole lot basically. So the pitch should move quicker. Most of the big clubs have a new pitch every season. We can't very justify that cost at the moment, but when we can, the owner's shown they're quite happy to do it. And now Brendan's got no excuses in football. Like Sinky was just saying, the home record last year was, well, not good enough, sadly. This year, we want to see improvement on those home records. I mean, we can talk about the games, Leeds United at home, smash them away 4-1, but then lose down here. Last season was always going to be difficult with no fans. This year, no excuses. The fans are back in the ground. I think the atmosphere today will be electric going to the field. I'm not sure what you think about that.
Well, we saw the Brentford fans last night, those of us who watched it, and they were making that place rock, and it shows you what a difference the fans make. The season we won the Premier League title, it was called earthquakes, wasn't it? It was on the Richter scale. We need that today. We were saying in the car on the way down with the lads, we need the fans that are here to make some noise. At Wembley in the cup final, there was only 6,500 Leicester fans. I've never heard anything as noisy as that. It was amazing. So we want to get more of that going today. I hope everybody who is down at the ground puts in that extra effort as the 12th man or such, because there's a lot of people who can't get to the game, watching from around the world, cheering Leicester on. So those of us who are down here, enjoying the atmosphere, enjoying the free beer, which we've got to go and get in a minute. And, let's make some noise.
Yeah, like I say, we're going to today's game, the first game in 18 months. I know we played against Villarreal, but friendlies are different.
Oh, are you sure? They're just saying the rumours are Bertrand's got COVID, but you've got to be careful.
Can't spread rumours, we don't know the truth. Yeah, I mean, going into today's game, like you say, the atmosphere is going to be electric. 18 months since we last played here. I remember that cold Monday night, a stunning victory over Harvey Barnes getting the first goal, or Pepper Reina went to walk his dog for some reason, and a 4-0 win against Villa. But today's different cup of tea. Wolves have come here with a new momentum in my way. We'll use momentum for Nuno. After Nuno decides to go and then go to Tottenham, they've got a new Portuguese manager in. It's going to be completely different for them. By the sound of it, they're not going to sit here and sit deep and try and hold back. They are going to defend from the front. They're going to push us back. I think that's what they're going to do. They're going to be trying more attacking than they were last season. They probably wanted last year Wolves, but this year I can't see them being the same Wolves last year. And they've lost one or two players, but they've signed one or two players. So it'll be an interesting game today, mate.
Yeah, I would think for a lot of Wolves fans, they'll be fearing a bit this season that it could be one of those seasons where they've done really well and then you lose your manager, and he's been a great manager for them. And I wonder if Wolves fans will be coming in today just fearing that they might, it could be a season where, like you say, they end up in a relegation battle. I think for Leicester fans, we're all excited. Everybody down here is excited about where this season could take us. Tom, I think you said the same as me. I think we could be in a title race. You said we could win it.
I don't see why we can't. We've strengthened the squad. I can see Jack making his way towards me. And yeah, I don't see why we can't be pushing for that top area again. There's no reason why. We don't need to be afraid anymore because we've proved it in the past. And I think last season, the last two seasons, things ain't gone our way. But now we're at a point where things are going our way. And we've signed some great players and hopefully we can move forward. Jack! Here we go. Can't see us. Jack's here now. Jack, what have you made of the team, mate?
Good team. Shame Ryan Bertrand's not playing. I just think he had to rotate after Manchester City. Lou Thomas has got his chance to shine today. Perez, he's got the chance to prove the fans wrong, why he should be staying here and why he should be playing. It's a good team. I reckon it's a good enough team to win the game. So, yeah, I'm quite happy with it.
Fair play. He's here. I'm here. For a long time. Mark is here. He's come all the way from Norwich. He's come to get some good Wi-Fi. Well, we can't get up here on a match day. What do you make of the team today, mate? You happy with that?
Yeah, pretty good. Pretty good. I was a bit confused why Bertrand's not in the squad. I think we might have picked something up.
Yeah, it's rumours.
We're rumours
of COVID, but can't really say much until we know what's going on really on that situation with what's gone on for the last 18 months. Don't really want to guess on these situations.
But no, I think it's all good.
What's your scoreline today, mate?
I think we'll win 3-0.
3-0. First goal scorer?
I think Vardy's got to get one today. And I'm going to go with Vardy.
You're going to send the pieces to Norfolk if he wins?
Yeah, if you get it right, obviously, yeah. Or you can collect them next time you're down.
I'm going to say you're dinner to Norwich.
Yeah. What do you reckon about Vardy, Mark? Because I fear a little bit, having seen him live last week, I do slightly fear with Vardy that this season, I think if he was to get 10 goals, I think that would be a great return this year because he is coming towards the end of his career, whether it's this year, next year. But I think he may not. I think Nacho might get the bulk of our goals, maybe Dakar, and Vardy's going to be a bit more of a supporting role, which would be unusual.
Well, I watched him at QPR and I said on Jack's show that I thought he'd lost the yard of pace. That was questioned. But watching him, he has lost. He's 34. He's not going to gain a yard of pace. So I just think, he's doing his job now. I think he's there as a supporting role. I think he'll take Dakar under his wing, which is what we want. And I think, we'll get what's best for the club.
Yeah, I think you're right. That's my opinion, is that Vardy's going to be teaching Dakar, working with Nacho. I think he's still on for something. I've been saying last season I liked him when he was out on the wing because he's got good intelligence about him, Vardy. It's not something we've particularly talked about too much before. It's always been about the pace. But you've got to think he's played for a long time in the leagues. And I think he shows, Tom, to me, that he does know what he's got to do. He actually puts quite an intelligent ball through Vardy when he's out on the sides. I just don't think he's going to be the 15, 20 goal golden boot predator this season. But he might be.
Let's just put it back 9 years. I was standing in the terrace at Torquay on this day watching him score his first goal. A header after a Ben Marshall ball over the top and he flicked it into the net. That's 9 years ago, that was. Torquay away in the cup. But look, Vardy's got clever now, and I think he's got more clever because of one person, and Brendan Rodgers has refined his game, probably brought him back from that pest that used to run into the touchline and into the tram lines all the time to try and get the ball. And if you look now, he's more floating around the 18-yard box. He does a bit of the old Harry Kane and drops back and tries to link up the play more than we've seen Vardy ever do. But that also means that the likes of Maddison, Barnes and everyone else can overlap him and go in behind, because they know if we do lose it, Vardy's going to make that run all the way back to his own 80-yard line to get the defensive block in, even if he has to. So Vardy might have lost that yard. We'll never know. He's that quick anyway. What's a yard of pace to Vardy? But I still think that there's a deadly finish in there, and teams are still going to fear Vardy this season. And if you ain't fearing Vardy, you're fearing the likes of 20 minutes ago when you're breathing out your Daka's then going to pop his head into the fray. What changed it? And the depth now for me with Daka on that bench brings it up to a new level. And Ian Nacho.
I mean, exactly. I was going to ask Jack about Nacho, because I think Nacho is going to weigh in the season with, I think he's going to get maybe 15 goals. But this talk of him going to Roma or somewhere is just nonsense. And we would be idiotic to let Nacho go at the moment, wouldn't we? We don't need to sell anybody.
No. I think it's just a public announcement. Obviously, Chelsea are after selling Tammy Abraham this season because he don't fit in what Thomas Tuchel's plans are. I think he's just used Ian Nacho as a bait, like a fishing rod. He's used him as bait to sell him to Roma. But Tammy Abraham's going to go there. It's going to get completed, I'm sure. I think he's just used Kelly's bait to get Roma's attention and Chelsea's attention. So, I can't see Kel leaving this summer. He signed a 3-year contract at Leicester and he'll be here for the long run.
Well, he seemed more than happy last week, didn't he?
Well, I was going to say, you go back to the contract. He's just signed it 3 years. That's multi-million-pound money for me if you want to take someone like him who, 20 odd goals last year, 18 goals in all total, top goal scorer for Leicester.
Yeah.
That says it all when you overtake Vardy in the goal scoring chart. So for someone to come in now, you're going to be looking at 30, 40, 50 million to take Nacho. So it's going to be an interesting couple of weeks. I still think there's more business for the club to do in the transfer market. But today's all about Wolves and getting that first victory on the ball field.
Yeah, I think it's going to be. It's going to be interesting to see how the striking forwards line up. Obviously, not seen much of Mark Albright, and he's on the bench, I think, today, isn't he? I think again his game time in the Premier League this year is going to be slightly limited, and there'll be still questions whether we've got one more purchase to make in the transfer window, which could be a winger or not. Harvey Barnes, though, probably. Again, this is probably going to be a Harvey Barnes season, isn't it, this year?
I really think this is his season to shine. I do think, though, I think if we are going to make another signing this season, I think it will be a winger. I really do. But Harvey Barnes, well, he's one of our own, isn't he? And he's absolutely fantastic at what he does. So, yeah, more than happy for Barnes.
There we go then, guys. I'll pass you back to the lads in the studio, if you'll say from now on, because they're not here. But Ethan, if you're there, come back on. Jono. Can't see them. There they go, Jono.
Thanks,
the boys are back. Kick us out now, boys. We're going to go in the ground. I'll try and join you at half time if I can get on, boys. All right?
Enjoy the game, guys.
Enjoy the
Be
atmosphere.
loud for us, yeah?
We will be loud, mate. Loud and proud. I can promise you that, mate. Enjoy yourselves. Have a great watch along. Thanks for coming down live from the King Power. And we'll just leave you with it there then, boys.
So that was Tom and the team down at the King Power Stadium. You can see just how electric the atmosphere is getting. People are getting excited despite the less than ideal weather. But like people were saying, I think that's going to be a good test for the new pitch that's been installed at the ground. That actually also gave us the perfect timing because Wolves have just posted their lineup for the game. From what I've seen, they're going to be going with a 3-4-3 formation. So I think we can expect to see a lot of pressure on the center backs and the full backs for Leicester today. But for Wolves, we're going to be seeing Jose Sa in net, Kiana Hoever, Marçal, and Ruben Neves in defense, Raul Jimenez, Francisco Trincao, Connor Cody as the captain, and Maximilian Kilman in midfield. And then up front, they're going to be playing Romain Saiz, João Moutinho, and Adama Traore. So that's a strong Wolves lineup. I don't think we should underestimate this team. What do you think, Jonna?
No, it's actually quite worrying that Jimenez. Well, obviously, it's good for him. It's good to see him back. Back after his horrific head injury, he's back and fit again, which is good to see. But that bad news for us. Him and Traore will be a threat. But no, even like we knew, Wolves team is a bit strong. But as we said, they got a new manager. We're at home with our fans. I still don't see it as. I think we'll still be as strong, but yeah, they've got a strong team, but I think we can still win.
I completely agree with that. It's a strong lineup for sure, and Jimenez is definitely going to be a strong point in it. However, I think there is a lot of uncertainty around the Wolverhampton Wanderers team right now, especially not only with the fact that they've got a new manager, but also Rui Patricio has now left the club. He's gone to Roma, and they are going to be playing this new goalkeeper in Jose Sa, a new signing from Olympiacos. I feel like for them, Patricio was a bit of a Schmeichel character. Someone who really anchored the team, a kind of leader character, exactly. So definitely get your comments in on this topic as well, but do you think that Wolves still have a sort of talisman in the team? Because they do still have long-standing players. Your Connor Cody's, your Raul Jimenez, your Adama Traore, although there have been some rumors about Traore leaving. However, in that case, who can this team turn to for guidance and leadership?
I think Neves. I think he's just quality. I think or Neto when he's back. They've got him, Neves, Jimenez, Neto, and Traore. I think of those group of players are just brilliant. I think they're the ones to watch out for. I think Jimenez is their standout player. I think obviously him being back is a huge threat. They missed him last season, but even still, even with their new manager, I think it'll be a bit of a weird one because we don't know how they're going to play, who their leader's going to be. With us, we know Schmeichel's going to be the leader at the back, and we know how Brendan plays. We don't know how their new manager's going to play. So it'll be a good task, but I think we can just edge it. Well, I hope we just don't just edge it, but I think we'll get the win.
Agreed. Yeah, I think they're going to be turning to Connor Cody for leadership personally. He's one of their longest standing players. He's going to be their captain on the field today, but again, I'm not sure that they have the concrete nature that's needed to overcome this Leicester lineup at the very least.
Yeah, we've got bags of players who have that experience. Schmeichel obviously in goal. The defense at the moment, I don't think there's any of that, experience and solidity that we want. Obviously, that we've got Evans on who's injured, Bertrand who potentially has COVID. We can't confirm that, but he's out. But you're looking at Vardy at front. He has the bag of experience. And Ndidi, who holds the line, he's got experience. Tielemans has got enough quality to know what he's doing. So we've got a lot more consistency and a lot more experienced players on the and starting 11 than Wolves have, and we've got a style of play which we can play with. So I think it would be a good lineup.
Totally. I was actually just about to start talking about our defense, but it looks as though, Nick, you have joined into the stream. Just give me a thumbs up to let me know if you're ready, and I can put you up on screen. Awesome. So I'm going to add Nick in here. Nick, how are you doing?
All right, lads. How we doing?
I'm good. I am good. So I'm actually going to bring back up that topic around the center backs and the defense in this Leicester lineup, because I think with the fact that that Bertrand has been left out of the lineup, that we're missing Evans, that we're missing Fofana.
Bertrand has COVID. Brendan's
that has been confirmed.
Yeah, I was listening to Stringer before on the way home from work, and Brendan's talked to the official site and it's confirmed he's got COVID. That's why he's not playing. That's why he's on the bench.
So that's going to be damaging for our defense, because he was meant to be like one of those more defensive rock type characters, a little bit like your Johnny Evans, your character with a lot of experience.
True.
You can sort of help guide those younger defenders. Do you think we still have someone like that in the lineup that we have, and it's going to put that back up?
Well, you got Vestergaard on the bench. Knows Casper and stuff like that, and he knows the Prem. He's probably not trained with the boys so much, but he's got Premier League experience, hasn't he? So
I think he'll be a great sub because if he comes on, he can replace Amati. If he doesn't have a good game, he's got that, experience of, holding, if we're 1-0 up in 89th minute, he's got the experience of keeping a clean sheet. So we've got, even though Fofana's out, we've still got that experience.
Yeah, and also if you look at it this way, if we're chasing the game, whether it's we're drawing or we are, we need to get a draw, who better to bring on for set pieces than Vestergaard when, let's be honest, Birchnell on one of their shows the other day was joking when he went for his medical. He whacked his head on the golf cart. He's that tall, so we're more dangerous from set pieces now, which is perfect. We've been crying out for that for ages.
It's not just attacking; it's defending set pieces. Last season we're atrocious at defending set pieces. So now I've got a defender who can come on and defend some set pieces, especially corners. We're awful defending them last season. So that's something we can also look at.
If we get another centre back as well in the transfer window, we don't even have to spend money. You could bring in for experience somebody like a Gary Cahill on a free transfer. Yeah. That's no
definitely.
And then you we're linked with that. Is it Noni Madwiki from PSV as well?
Yeah,
we've been heavily linked with him the last 24 hours.
Yeah, there we go. Look,
you got Noni Madwiki, and then also another name that has been bandied around a little bit is Ozan Kabak. Now,
I buy the Schalke. Sorry, they need the money, don't they? They got relegated, so that's a good bit of business.
Absolutely,
and the Scousers raved about him.
One thing I was going to say about Kabak is
season ticket Liverpool friend who watches all their games and stuff, and he was saying apart from the dodgy performance he had against us, he was solid. So. I don't know.
I was going to say with Kabak, the one thing that I would worry about with that is that I feel like we are trying to fill in squad depth in the center back row because I don't think we're signing players who are going to replace your Fofanas and your Evans when they come back. And do you think Kabak would put up with being more of a depth player versus do you think that he might be looking for a club that'll give him more playing time?
I think personally, everybody has to earn their place in the team. Nobody's a given. Yori's got to earn his place. Vards has got to earn his place. Daka, Sumare, they've all got to earn their place. We're not one of these clubs that just because we're paying you X amount of money and you're a glorified starter at your old club doesn't necessarily mean you're going to, be like that here. So let's be honest, Brendan's not muck, is there? So he'll know what's right and what's wrong. I definitely think we are going to recruit for squad depth, though, because I think we're going to have a real crack at the Europa League this season. That's what tripped us up last season in the Europa was the squad depth. We didn't have it. I think we'll have a good crack at it this season. And let's be honest, our squad is deep enough and strong enough. We could actually go out and win it.
That's a perfect segue for me. I was actually just going to pop up. Definitely covered us up quite a bit, but. Here's the subs that were announced on the bench, and that is some great depth. I feel like that is something that we haven't seen from the club last season, especially when we were dealing with our injury woes. But the fact that you can get good, talented players like Dewsbury Hall, who's come up through the club itself, those new signings like Sumare and Daka, as well as you mentioned Vestergaard and the fact that he can help us with set pieces, he can help be a bit more of a Marshall in defense. I feel like he can be a bit of an Albrighton character. The kind of person who can sort of marshal that part of the field when brought on around your 50th, your 60th minute, if we are lacking a little bit.
Who better to learn off of than Mark Albrighton? I still argue that Mark Albrighton is probably, arguably, one of our better players because nobody can ping a ball in like Albrighton can.
Totally agreed on that.
You got Daka's raw pace. As well, when Wolves' legs are tiring and stuff, who better to bring on that? And you got Nacho, who is a totally different player now than what he was this time last season. It's a lot stronger. Let the pundits, underwriters, like they always do and stuff, and let them be surprised. So I see Shearer's marked us down again that we're not going to have enough and all this rubbish as usual. So
go ahead.
Well, to be fair, he had a point last 2 seasons. That's, the first season we got 5th. We were 20 points clear, and we bottled that. Last season, we were in amongst top 4, and I reckon with our squad depth, we could have got it. this season the owner's gone to Brennan. Look, here's the money. Get who you want. We need squad depth. The owner wants us to push for this now. He wants us to be recognised as a top club. And if we get that squad depth, why can't we go for all these trophies? Why can't we go far in the Europa League? Why can't we go for the league and stuff like that?
Exactly. Personally, isn't financial fair play been relaxed for this season because of it and what's been going on and stuff? So that's probably why we are spending more money. So,
well, to be fair, Man City bought Grealish for 100 million. So that if that's not,
they could have got Tom Daly for a lot cheaper.
One thing that I am going to bring up ZM's comment about Nacho and how he's improved a lot. I think one of the great things that we're seeing with a lot of the business that Leicester City has been doing is the fact that not only have we been very shrewd in our business, but I feel like because we've been shrewd, we're pulling in a lot of players who, like you said, like they sort of fight for their place in the club. They play with a lot of heart. And you can tell that there's not a lot of people in the squad who are just there for the money or there because they were trying to get into like a top 6 team. These are players that want to be here.
Some of the comments from last week's win at Wembley summed it up perfectly. We are a family club. Our club is totally different to all the other clubs out there and stuff. You can see it, whether it's in the fans, Brendan, the ownership. Do you know what I mean? It's like they want to succeed together, and it's like this band of brothers mentality. Now, we had that when we won the Premier League, and all of a sudden it seems to have come back. Now, that's not a bad thing, I don't think. Let all the others think, all Leicester, they're going to bottle it and stuff. Let them think it, because look what happens. They thought Man City thought it last season when we beat them 5-1, didn't they? They thought, oh, we'll do that. And what happened? We did them 5-1.
I feel like there's definitely, if there's one thing the Premier League shows a lot of, it's the way that the cohesion of a team can matter so much more than just the names that you have on your team sheet. Definitely. I think even the game that we saw yesterday, Brentford managing to pull a 2-0 win against Arsenal. Who would have thought of that on paper?
Well, I could see that coming. I could see that coming.
I could. When I saw that they'd not got Lacazette and they'd not got Aubameyang, I thought they might get a draw, but I didn't see them winning, but fair play to them. Arsenal didn't look up for it.
No.
And if they play like that all season, they'll be lucky to finish in the top 10, I'll tell you.
If Brentford came up on a good run of form, they played phenomenal. They didn't give Arsenal a second on the ball without being pressured. They played their hearts out, and that was a fully deserved win. And congratulations on their first Premier League win.
Yeah,
just going to take a quick moment to address a couple comments that are asking about where we can watch the game. So please note that this is a watch along. We're going to be giving live commentary when the game kicks off. However, we're not going to be allowed to actually show the game itself. Wherever you're from in the world, you're going to have to find out which channel or which broadcaster has the rights to show the Premier League, and that's how you're going to be able to watch the game. But here itself, we're not going to be showing the game, but we're going to be giving live commentary and analysis.
Yeah. I'm going to have to put up with Stringer and Matt Piper. Deep joy. But it should be interesting. Anyway, guys, I'm going to get myself a beer, and then I'll try and come on and speak to you at full time, if that's okay.
Yeah, much appreciated. Yeah, come in to talk to us at half. Come to talk to us at full. We'll keep putting the link in as we go.
Okay. Up the Foxes, mate. Cheers.
Take care.
In a bit, mate. Cheers. We've got a question. Someone wants to be answered. It's we do need a winger. We do need a that's the one. We need a right class winger. I won't say world class. We need a winger who has got pace. We need a winger who's got the ability to cross it and just be a team player. But we are missing that. I don't think Perez is that player that could do that. So I think maybe I wouldn't say Brentford's winger, but I really want that guy from PSV. He looks really good. Or that guy from West Brom. I don't know if he's been bought yet, but no, we do need a winger. I think if we buy a winger and a centre half before the end of the transfer window, I'll be happy.
I would agree with that. I know a lot of people tend to speak poorly about Perez, and I can see where they're coming from, that he might not be week in, week out starting quality, but I think he is good for building depth. So we do definitely need someone who we can put into that starting rotation. The Eredivisie is a great place to pull talent from. I feel like it's not as harsh a transition to come from the Dutch league into the English Premier League, as you might see from people coming in from leagues like the Bundesliga. So I personally would also lean towards signing from PSV. I just don't see Brentford letting go of Buemo.
Was that sorry?
I just don't see Brentford letting go of their Mbeumo,
No,
their winger, because he's core to their team, and they're going to need all the talent that they have on that side to just stay up.
Yeah,
and he's part of that team that has that cohesion. They're not going to let him go, especially not for cheap.
Yeah, no, it's a fact of I don't think letting him go is the issue. I don't think the players will want to go. You know, maybe after this season, if they don't do well, maybe if they get relegated or anything like that, maybe the players will go, right, I've experienced going to Brentford, maybe I can move on now. But I think this first season, the honeymoon season in the Premier League, they've won against Arsenal. That's not an easy task. So I don't think any players will be leaving Brentford anytime soon. So I think we should, if we go for Brentford, they will know, right, we need a winger. So they'll up the price unnecessarily. So avoid your promoted size. Just go for players like our scouting team is brilliant. If we're not linked with them, then there must be a reason why. So I reckon we should go for the PSV guy personally.
Agreed. I believe that was Madueke here. Because another thing is just that like PSV can punch it with the big boys in European soccer. We've seen the way that they can perform not only in the Dutch league, but the way that they can also perform in Europe. So I think if he's performing well there, we can definitely give him a shot.
Yeah, definitely. I agree.
Now, also, one thing that we're seeing here is, so Lily and Rama, are you recommending putting Nacho in on the wing? And do you think that could be a position that we could play Nacho in?
I don't think Nacho has the ability to play winger. I don't think he's got that pace. And I don't think he has that finesse that I would like to see from a winger. I can't see him crossing those balls in. I can't see him making those runs. But I think Iheanacho, Daka and Vardy as the front three would be perfect as the striking partnership at front. And then Barnes on the left. Maybe Ricardo could be a temporary winger. If Justin comes back, we don't get a winger. That'd be a good winger. Ricardo and Perez. And then obviously Justin will come back when he's fit and go back into right back, or left back, whatever. So I think that'd be good.
Yeah, I definitely agree on that. That I think those three will make for a great sort of three-person rotation. We can play two up front. But I agree that I think they need to be sort of staying in that main strike position, because what that's going to give us is that firepower that we need. Vardy, he's losing a little bit of pace, perhaps. I think we need to give him a few games this season before we can say stuff like that right off the bat. But he's still got blistering runs, and I think that we can get those players who can play those balls when they come in. But I don't think that you can shuffle them around and put them on the wing like that, because they're too specialized in a way.
Yeah, they're too specialised. The thing about Vardy is people forget, yes, he's lost he may have lost the pace he had 2-3 seasons ago, but that doesn't mean his work rate isn't like up there. His work rate is phenomenal. Goalkeepers and defenders are scared of him because he doesn't give anyone a break. And when maybe it is time for him to not to play 90 minutes, but when Vardy does come off, look who comes on. It's Daka. And when all those defenders and goalkeeper are knackered from avoiding Vardy, Daka comes on, and then he has a chance to finish them off. So I think we've really got a good partnership up front. We just need to get players back in defence, like Justin, Fofana, Bertrand's got it's got COVID. So when the defence is sorted, we'll be a team to be reckoned with.
I agree with that. I would say that. Oh goodness, I would say that. I forgot what I was going to say there. But what I will do then instead is I will say that we have 172 people watching at the moment. Make sure that you hit those likes on YouTube. Help us grow. Help more Leicester fans find us, join our community as well. I'm going to put the link in once more. We do still have another 10 minutes before kickoff. If you want to come give us your views on the game, join us on the stream and come talk to us. Now, as well, so Lily and Rama, you're putting an ideal lineup in here, what you're thinking of, with Bertrand, Yannick, and Kags as a back three, Barnes, Ricardo, and right mid, three midfielders, Yuri, Wilfin, Matters, and then Daka and Vardy up top. What do you think of a lineup like that?
I think the only reason why we went for a back three last season was because of the injuries. I think Brendan had his hands tied and couldn't have the back four that he wanted. But now we wouldn't have brought Bertrand in if we're going to have a back three. We brought in Bertrand because we're going to have a back four. So we have we get a wing back, which is Bertrand. We've got a wing back, right wing back, which is Ricardo. And we've got two solid centre halves with the both fit will be Everards with Fofana. Obviously, so he should be rotating. So I think we've just got a brilliant back four. But yeah, I agree with the rest of Yuri Tillemans with Madders in the midfield and DDCDM, and then Dvardy Daka at front.
Yeah, I agree with that. I love the idea of a strike partnership, and I feel like Yuri and Matters are perfect foils for each other in the midfield because you end up getting Yuri has an ability to sort of boss those players, get dribbles in, and then Matters, he can not only make a run, but he can make those laser point passes that are needed to find the runs of the players as they move upfield. But completely agreed on the three defenders front. We floundered so much when we played a back three, and sometimes even when we played a back five. The team feels so much more concrete when we have that back four that I would not budge on that.
No, I wouldn't budge. I think, like maybe a back three could be a thing if we get injuries again, but we've trained all pre-season with a back four. We've got a new wing back. I think our squad depth will really fit for the back. I think we've just, I think our quality of play would be better with four at the back. It'd be less liable to counter attacks with four at the back. So I think that'd be a great lineup.
One of the other things is we're just starting to hear a lot of people talking about sort of how they got into Leicester and the fact that we got a lot of fans that are all here watching. One thing that I would like to check in on, so if my accent hasn't told you, I'm not from Leicester. I'm actually from Canada. I'd love to hear sort of where you're all tuning in from. We got 208 people watching. Love to hear where you're tuning in from. Get your comments in and I can put those up on screen. As well, if you scroll up through the comments, I have posted in the stream link as well. If you'd like to join in, we do still have 8 more minutes before kickoff and we start our commentary. So come on in, give us your views. I saw we even had a couple Wolves fans in there. Come give us your perspective if you'd like to join us. There is a little bit of a controversial take when it comes to lineups. I've seen a lot of people that have been talking about putting Ndidi in the back. Now, this is something that I personally disagree with quite a bit. But what do you think? Because I think Ndidi is, again, one of those players, especially in the defensive midfield role, he bosses. And I just don't think that he's the right player to be putting in defense because that then damages our midfield so much.
This comes back to Brendan having his hands tied with injuries. Brendan would never play Ndidi in defence unless he absolutely had to. When he first played centre back in our fixtures, we were surprised. We weren't expecting it because but what else could have Brendan done? But no, I would definitely have Ndidi in our midfield. We've got enough. We've got Amati, we've got Suunchi, we've got Evans, we've got Fofana, we've got Nelson, who's also a youngster coming up. I forgot his name. Yeah, I don't pronounce his name, but we've got another. That's 5 centre backs. What's his name?
Were you thinking of Maswan Hize or Maswan Hize?
No.
The name that's been giving Tom a bunch of problems.
Maswan Hize is a left wing. We've got 5 centre backs. We don't need Ndidi to come to the centre back. That's why we've got Vestergaard now. We don't need Ndidi centre back. So I think it'll be a waste of him if he isn't centre back.
Finally, the last thing that I want to spend sort of our last 6 minutes on before kickoff is going to be our score prediction. So I am actually seeing that we're getting a good few Wolves fans into our chat as well. You are more than welcome to join us for our watch along, but get your score predictions in. I saw a couple 2-1s in there. Nick Nettlebeck coming in here with a 2-1 to Leicester. Beyond just your score predictions, who do you think is going to score? We've got J.R. Lacken, who thinks that we might be getting a draw today.
I don't think we'll get a draw. I think it'll either be we underestimate Wolves and we lose, or we just carry on like we did against Man City play really well and we get the win. I can't see it being a draw unless it's a really boring game. So I hope. I'm expecting a 2-0 win for Leicester, but I think if we don't do that, I think it'll be a surprise.
I agree with that. I'm seeing a lot of some bold score lines in here. We've got a 6-0 Leicester. We had an 8-0 Wolves earlier on. Personally, I'm leaning towards, I think we're going to get a 3-1 Leicester City win here. I could see us going into halftime tied, but I just think that we have that little bit more cohesion that can help pull us through in the second half. Steve Smith, I'm also just going to quickly address that. So as I've mentioned before, we're not going to be able to show the game itself, but we are going to be giving live commentary when the match actually kicks off. So we will be talking about the game. We'll be keeping you up to date as to what is happening, but we won't be showing the game itself. Mitch Chapman coming in here with a 2-0 Leicester win from a Wolves fan. So definitely got to appreciate that. We've got someone predicting a Vardy hat trick coming in, and then a 4-0 Leicester City win. Esme, I am also just going to let you know, Traore is in the Wolves lineup. They're coming in with a 3-4-3. I'll put the lineups back on screen again for you to see. So here is Wolves' lineup. You can see the bench on the smaller graphics there. Again, going in with a 3-4-3, bringing in their new goalkeeper from Olympiacos. And then we've got the Leicester City lineup here. I believe we are playing a 4-2-3-1 as it looks. Again, going up front with just Vardy, hoping that he can bring in those runs. One of the things that I did want to talk about when it comes to Vardy's runs as well is that where I'm seeing a lot of strength from Vardy towards the end of last season and possibly a little bit into the preseason as well is that where Vardy hasn't been scoring as prolifically as he has been, what he does is he pulls defenses apart. He makes people feel like they have to mark him. And when they then give space to some of our other players, your Nachos, your Barneses, that's when they can then go in and score themselves. So there's a lot of mental game in the way that Vardy plays, even if he himself is not scoring those goals.
Yeah, Vardy's mentality in the game is not just to focus on scoring goals. He frustrates players. He makes them draw fouls. He draws players out of the position so other players can go in. So sometimes Vardy runs to the left and then gives chance Vardy to cross. So he's a very diverse player, not in terms of he can play multiple positions, but he offers multiple things for the team. So I just think Vardy is, people say, oh, he's lost pace. No, I think he's still a very, very key player for 1 or 2 more seasons. But, Daka's going to learn so much from him. Daka's going to learn, what runs to, obviously Daka's new to the Premier League. So he'll learn so much from Vardy, and I can't wait to see this joint partnership. And maybe he'll learn a lot from, Iheanacho will learn a lot from it as well.
Absolutely. I think I'm going to use this as our way to sort of segue into it. Nick saying that he thought Vardy might actually leave the team. I believe he did say in an interview that he wasn't going to leave Leicester because they were the team that gave him a chance. And I'm going to use this to sort of go back to what we talked about a half hour ago, which was that what Leicester have really well is a team cohesion and the fact that we have sort of talismanic players that people can turn to for inspiration. And I feel like Vardy is really good for that, where he can sort of guide other players. He's been with the team for so long. He knows the system, and players can sort of turn to him for inspiration.
Yeah, definitely. I think with this team, everyone inspires each other. Everyone, the guy came on said, it's a family. Everyone's there to help each other. Not one player's on his own. Other players can learn from each other. Defenders can learn off Vardy. Vardy can learn off the defenders. It's a mentality which I think Leicester's so successful is because it's a family mentality, and I think everyone grows from each other.
Totally. Jimmy Morris, just going to quickly address that. I know I sound like it, but I'm actually from Canada, so I'm north of the United States.
Yeah, he couldn't fly over for the game, and I'm in Newcastle, so I couldn't really take a 4.5 hour journey down there just to watch the game, unfortunately, which is why we're in commentary. But the game is about to kick off.
Yes, so we do have, for those of you who are asking what we're watching the game on, because I'm Canadian, I do have a broadcast that we will be watching to then provide you with the commentary on, but we will not be able to show you the game itself due to copyright reasons. So we're actually watching because I'm Canadian. I do have a broadcast. Just as the players take the knee, I think we can finally take a quick moment to sort of talk about Leicester transfer rumors. So we did talk a little bit about signings of right wingers, because I think that Perez could do well to sort of be brought in as more of a rotation player, and we have been eyeing up a right winger. His name escapes me at the moment, from PSV, who I think could be strong. And the game has kicked off, and there is early on a free kick to Wolves right off the halfway line.
And Jimenez has been fouled already.
A little bit like Vardy in that way. He has a bit of a dangerous pace to him, where he can make those runs and sort of force people to foul him just because it's what it takes to stop him from getting a run past you.
Yeah, he, as I said before, he just knows how to draw a foul, you know. The thing is, he's not a headless chicken. He doesn't run all game. He's very clever with how he makes his runs. He doesn't make a run unless he knows he can you know, get the finish. So I think that's what I think that's why players are really frustrated by him, because if they don't keep an eye on him for a brief second and not out of position, or Leicester on the attack, lucky bad. But
goes back to Jose Sa, who is now controlling the ball with his feet.
But no, if that's why, like, if 1 minute he's standing there, next minute he's behind you and scoring. So that's why he's a nightmare to play against. So I reckon, you know, Vardy is still one of the key players for the team.
We'll also say a quick welcome to all of the Wolverhampton Wanderers supporters that have tuned in to us as well. Welcome to Leicester Fan TV. Give us your thoughts on your season as well. Do you think you had a good transfer window? Where do you think you're going to end up this season? Get your comments in. We'll be happy to discuss both our team and yours. Esme Bedford saying that Burnley is apparently already 1-0 up on Brighton.
Well, my score prediction for that game was 1-1, so that might be already out the window.
I was going to say I'm already out because I was thinking a 0-0 on that one. Reacts were not allowed to show the game. This is a watch along, so we are going to be providing live commentary.
So far, Leicester on the advantage, you know, in Wolves' half, you know, very much pressing on their defence. Wolves is just trying to clear it, but, you know, we're pressing. So it's, you know, quite a good start from Leicester so far.
We're playing a much more aggressive high press than I would say that we'd seen maybe even in preseason.
I think so. It's a much more high press than I usually see. ADT Perez has given away a foul.
Looks like it might have been a pull on a shoulder based on what the referee is gesturing there. I'm just getting a replay on it here. Yeah, just a shoulder.
Yeah, I think that's one thing. That's one thing Perez did a lot of in preseason, was give away silly fouls. So hopefully that doesn't come back to bite us. But obviously I'm not here to hate on Perez. I want to see him do well. I want him to do play well for Leicester. But you know, I'll call out any player which I feel is inconsistent, and he's one player for me that is quite inconsistent at the moment.
Agreed. I definitely think that, like I said, he's a good rotation player, but I think with the pressure that he's under right now, sort of being the go-to right-wing player, it might just be a little bit too much for him at the moment.
Yeah, I think so. I think he puts pressure on himself to do well. Like, you can see him trying hard, you see him wanting to do stuff, but I think he's doing stuff that's not capable of doing. Oh, Vardy's on the right wing, going to make a cross.
Yep, plays it back to
Ricardo.
Back to Vardy.
Great run.
Perez in the box, makes a play across
the box.
Cleared.
Great move. Corner to throw into Leicester in the first 5 minutes. So good push. First good move against Leicester.
What I feel like we're starting to see, like, that high press is paying off, and we're starting to catch Wolves out a little bit. They're giving us, like, it's the way that Vardy is. You give him an inch and he takes a foot.
Well, it takes a mile. We're not
fair.
Takes a foot. Takes an inch. Takes a foot. But no, one thing I do like, we're not doing any silly passes. You know, we had a good attack. You know, we had a good counter. But now we're just passing the ball around, getting, you know, back in the Premier League. You know, this is a new pitch for them. Getting used to it. It is a lot quicker than last season. I can already tell.
Just going to quickly comment on that. That was a good through ball. Almost made it to Madison on the outside of the penalty area. but has been cleared. And now we're just playing back up through the middle of the park. A little bit of pass around amongst the defense. I got to pull the lineups back up just because I can't quite read the backs of the jerseys. So I'm going to have to see who is what number, especially for Wolves. I feel like Traore is easy to spot.
Traore is easy to spot because one, he's really hench and is one covered in baby oil. So that's how you can stop Traore. Would you take Traore at Leicester? I said in our recent stream that I would take Traore because, you know, we want players to run at defenders. You know, I think we've got Vardy, but he hasn't got that. Obviously, Traore is a tank. If you him run at you, you're going to be scared. So, do you think you will take a player like Traore?
I absolutely would. I think that, especially if we're going to start playing a high press the way that we are in this game more often, I think he would be well suited to a play like that. But also, like, not only is he hench, but he's very, very fast, and he would be a great foil to Vardy as just being another absolutely rapid player up front. Yeah,
you can already see why Brendan's picked a back four with two wing backs, because what the high press allows is us to have a high press with the wingers, but also if Wolves do counter, we've automatically got 3 defenders at the back, you know, to stop the counter. Like, we've got 3, you know, Traore for Wolves is on the attack.
That was a perfect segue where Traore comes in on a counter attack, and yet we had 3 people on him, and it was great defending. Wolves are back. They have the ball in the middle of the park. Play it out to the right wing. But again, Leicester are back in numbers. For the high press that we are playing, we are also doing well at getting the players back, and we've already pushed Wolves back to their center backs.
Sorry, I just love how you say soccer and bats. It's quite funny.
I've been trying to like bring a little bit more of the UK vocabulary in, but sometimes it just slips.
But that was quite scary there.
Some British snacks and drinks to have during the game. Just
you order them
Canada
from Amazon.
As British as possible.
You order them from Amazon.
There's a couple import shops you can find. So I'm from Toronto in Canada, which is the largest city, and there's a lot of import shops where you can get goods from around the world, basically.
Okay.
Kyle and Niall, I saw you've just joined in. We're not going to be having people joining in during the match itself, but please join us at halftime where we'll be getting fan views in and we'll be having sort of group discussions.
Amate there tackled Traore quite well. So already proving that he should be playing today. You know, maybe Vestergaard had another few days, maybe in the team, but Amate for me was just solid there. You know, Traore, if he's running at you in the box, very scary. If you make a silly tackle, it's a penalty. So very good tackle from Amate there.
Yeah, I feel like Amate gets more hate than he deserves. Again, I feel like he's a bit like that Perez type player where he is great in rotation. He just might not be able to take day in, day out playing in the Premier League 90 minutes.
No, I don't think so. But this is why we've been also just given a warning. He stopped a Jimenez counter-attack. So I think it was a yellow. It wasn't a yellow card offence, but I think referees just giving him a final warning. That's definitely do it again as a yellow card. So I think, you know, Brendan said, look, like we need to work hard. These are the threat players, and you know, I think this is going to be a tough game. And I think Wolves are looking, even though we're on the front foot for the first 5 minutes, Wolves are starting to get into the game, get more of the ball, and speaking of that, we're on the counter attack.
Ooh. I think that was Barnes just couldn't get on the through pass for Madison, and it is out for a Wolves throw-in. I will bring up Fee's comment saying there's no gin because unfortunately we don't have Locks and his trademark glass of gin. I myself don't drink, which is why I find myself with a nice bottle of Oasis. But Jono, what do you have going on as your...
Well, I had a beer on the go, but my COVID vaccine is starting to... my second COVID vaccine is starting to hit a little bit, so I'm on the water for the time being to make sure I don't feel unwell. But no, I'm on the water.
You could put that. I feel like you could put that water in a gin glass and you can pass off for Locks.
Yes, I'll pass it. I'll do that for you. I'll put a gin glass and put some ice cubes in it.
Very nearly an excellent lock through past to Vardy, but just
that's why Vardy. You know, that's why Wolves are playing a really deep back line because of, you know, those sort of moves, ball over the top, Vardy's in, goal. So even though Vardy's lost a bit of pace, that's why you need to be careful of Vardy.
Made it into our songs for a reason. That counter-attack is dangerous. Jack Fridger coming in with, I love Amarte. He's the best defensive rotator in the team. I don't know if I would call him the best, but he's definitely up there. He's a great... Good shot, Vardy. Good save.
First shot of the game, good save.
I would say just doesn't get the right contact on the half volley. It bounces a little bit, but those bounces can prove to be dangerous because that can be how you throw a goalkeeper off. But safe hands from the Wolves keeper.
The thing is, as though it's raining, so the pitch is more slippery than usual. So there's a thing. If there's a danger, if you slip or the ball just rolls on the floor, goes quick, then you recognise. So it could be a goal. But good counter attack by Leicester.
Like Ty famously said, we mustn't forget that it's been raining.
Yeah, we cannot forget. Oh God. Off topic, his interview with Jamie Carragher on that talk show thing was so funny. But anyway, there's enough about that. Leicester counter. Yeah. Leicester on the attack. Barnes on the left.
Good cross in, but well headed out. Nick Nettlebeck coming in with, I never noticed how muscly is Traore. He, like you said, he is hench. But honestly, it's more than just a visual thing. Like I gotta give some praise to Traore that he plays so solidly that he's fast and yet he's strong. He can push other players off the ball. He can muscle his way through and make a run regardless of how hard the defenses try against him. And I think that's one of the things that where for Vardy it's pace, for Traore it's strength, and that plays a mental game with the opposition defense. How's Trincao doing? It's been a pretty solid game in the middle of the park. There's been a lot of back and forth. I'd say that Leicester are maybe 65, 70% better on the front foot. However, there has been some good management in the middle of the park. Ball goes off of Perez for a Wolves throw in there. Oh, no, it's offside.
Yeah. So that gives us a chance to talk about a new offside rule, which I discovered. The officials now can flag an obvious offside. We don't have to wait 3 minutes for an obvious offside, which could have potentially caused an injury, which is good. So if a few players were a few yards offside, they just immediately put the flag up, or it doesn't lead to goal scoring opportunities where VAR could come into play and allow it or disallow it. So that would be good for the flow of play. So that's one happy change for VR this season, which I'm happy with.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think we'll be seeing fewer temes having the word VAR shoved into their names on Twitter and the like. Because both the rules. Yep, Man U. We're seeing much kinder offside rules, as well as kinder rules for accidental handballs that lead to goals, because now the handball has to either directly lead to the goal or be done by the player who scores the goal. Otherwise, it will be allowed to stand if accidental. One thing that we did actually just see there was another great example of Traore, I think, just pushed Ricardo out of the way as he tried to make a run in the back. The through ball to him was a little bit too far, and it did trickle out for a Leicester goal kick. But that is that strength that I was talking about, where he can still be fast and yet just push the defender off of it.
But I can't deny Ricardo did well. We put him off and wasn't able to do put the cross in. Oh,
it's very
lucky
delicate.
ball.
It just takes you got to put him off one step, and that is what can force the ball to go out for that goal kick. Ball back in the middle of the park, being played up by Ricardo at the moment. Oh, I like this one. Jack Fridger coming in with, what is everyone's favorite kit since 2015? So I'd actually like to answer this one in two parts, because I do have a favorite. I feel like we could talk about favorite Leicester kits and favorite non-Leicester kits. John, do you want to go first, or shall I go with mine? Because I'm a bit of a kit man myself.
You go first, and he's everything.
So I would actually say that I didn't like it at launch, but I fell in love with last season's home shirt. The one that you're wearing at the moment. I found that the collar was comfortable. the plain blue was very tasteful.
Oh,
and
Leicester on the attack, so it's interrupt you.
Great through ball to Vardy. He's offside.
Oh, it's offside. Fuck's sake.
The ball is in the back of the net. This will likely be reviewed, but he has been flagged as offside.
Well, he flagged offside, so maybe it was more obvious than we thought. Obviously, if you have a quick look at it, but I think it is offside.
Having a look at some jolly Leicester fans in the front of the crowd. Just seeing the replay now.
That is...
Yeah, he's off. Oh, yeah, he's off.
Yeah, he's offside, yeah.
Yeah, by knee and shin, he's offside. But yeah, I was just mentioning that I feel like that shirt was a nice hybrid of both being traditional and being one of those plain shirts, but I love the cuffs. The way that they bring the gold into it. I think the new shirt for this season as well does a good job with that. And I love seeing a textured shirt come in once in a while. But yeah, I would say that was probably my favorite Leicester shirt since 2015. I feel like Adidas has been much better than Puma in terms of the designs that we've been getting. Oh, Vardy is in. Oh, excellent
good tackle.
block.
That was a good tackle.
Excellent block by Connor Cody.
Yeah.
Excellent. And then I would say my favorite non-Leicester kit, there have been a few gems over the last few seasons. I don't like them as a team that much, but I would say Manchester City's kit last season, the mosaic design was very good. As was Arsenal's away shirt last season, the Highbury Granite was a lovely, lovely kit. I didn't end up buying either of them, but if I can find them for a good price and not have to pay ridiculous shipping to Canada, I might add them to the collection.
My favorite... I'm going to say my favorite shirt would have to be Leicester's pink shirt, because that is my lucky shirt, and it's we got so much good luck last season. I wore it during the FA Cup win, so purely nostalgia. I think pink one is my favorite kit so far.
Low corner played in and cleared out.
I think the worst
I
kit...
agree on that we... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
The worst kit would have to be Wolves on the counter-attack.
That is Traore coming in with speed. Excellent block.
Well defended.
I'm surprised he just went for the shot there. I would have expected him to...
And do you know who defended that?
I didn't catch it.
Amati made that block.
There you go.
I presume it was. I think it was. Yes, it was. It was Amati. Oh, it wasn't. It wasn't. Oh, it wasn't Amati. It came off someone else's back foot when they made a... But still, we got back and defended well.
Good defending, good block, and it is out, I believe, for a Wolves throw. Looks like...
Amati might be...
I can't see a number or a name, but yeah, I do think that's Amati. I think he's
Amati might be injured.
Equipment or maybe his leg? He's still on his feet. Yeah, I think he might have just had a problem with the shin guard there.
Yeah,
the Burgundy kit, just for what Esme Bedford has commented
the maroon kit.
I've got it up on the background right here.
Is that with Albrighton on the back?
This shirt. With Albrighton on the back. That was my Baldy locks that I lost last season. I said that if Albrighton scored from open play in a game, I'd buy a shirt with his name on the back, and then I think he scored within like 10 minutes.
Maybe I should work with every shirt then. If we score, I'll buy a shirt.
I don't have that kind of money, but I might see it. Maybe I'll put in some
I don't have that kind of money.
Yeah, a lot of love coming out for the pink shirt. I did also see Jack Pritchard coming back with the... so I'm assuming you're talking about that black and bronze Puma kit.
Yeah,
I think that was 2016-17.
That was the season after when... No, it wasn't. It was the season...
I think it was the season after we won. So that would have been...
It wasn't because... It wasn't because that was a kit with the gold trim and the blue lines down it.
You know what? You're right.
The kit after that was the one with the gold dots all down it, and then the away kit was the black with gold on it.
You're right. Now, one thing that I will give those kits as well, because I know I was hating on the Puma a little bit. While I like the Dragon of Bia Saigon, I'd actually say that we had I like the sleeve sponsor of I think it was SCB. That we had for that season.
I didn't like the purple one. I didn't.
You didn't like it?
The problem is there were like stickers, they were like sort of like this one, like it's a bit like chunky and it came off quite easily.
Oh, okay, because I was going to say, I actually like this a little bit more because I find at least for my shirts, they don't come off as easily as like you can't see it, but this one actually showed up cracked. The dragon's already losing a tooth. I like those meatier velvety stickers that you get. I actually have so you were talking about your lucky shirt. So I have last season's shirt, the Thailand Smiles with You in a blue, and I purposefully got the old Premier League patch because now they have like these vinyl appliques. I got that velvety one from a couple seasons earlier just because like it sticks so much better to the shirt.
Yeah. I ordered one of mine fell off my shirt, unfortunately, when we won the Premier League, the gold badge. So I bought a few new ones, and they didn't tell me it was actually twice the size. They wouldn't fit on my shirt, so they were on my wall as like a souvenir. But no, I do prefer the velvety ones rather than the transfer sort of ones.
One thing that I will give Leicester is that they give you the
Wolves in the counter attack again.
Oh yeah, I believe that's with Jimenez at the moment, coming in on the right wing. Looks like he's going to try to space up across the Traore. Excellent defending by Suunchu.
That was brilliant by Suunchu.
With that brilliant by Suunchu, I'll come in with Wilbo Baggins asking who has had the best performance so far. I'd say Traore has been the shining light for Wolves so far, and it's been good all around for Leicester so far. Yeah, Vardy's been making some good runs.
Side. Vardy's on the left-hand side making a run.
Very nearly to Barnes on a platter there, but just intercepted. High cross play to Madison.
Good defend. Wolves defending off the line. Oh, God's sake.
Jono, how are you feeling about the mint shirt? I like it. Again, like I said, I'm a fan of a good textured shirt. I have I try to put both ours and the team we're playing against. I loved this Wolves shirt as well for having some nice texture on it. So I like the fact that it's not just a solid color. It goes well with this shirt. I like it.
This is the first season I've got all three shirts and the training kit. I think all of them are just stunning. I think all of them are just really nice. I'm waiting for my other shirts to come up the wash, and I'm waiting for my my mint kit to come back from Leicester because I returned it because I said no to the Saigon logo and they sent me one. But no, I think all three kits are absolutely gorgeous.
Agreed. Like I said, Adidas has been, in my opinion, some of the best shirts in the Premier League. Not just some of the best Leicester shirts, but like the United shirt, Man United shirt for last season, Leicester shirts.
Arsenal's fur kit this season, I think, stunning.
Probably one of the worst Arsenal teams we've seen in years.
Oh, lucky Barnes.
One of the worst Arsenal teams we've seen in years, playing in some of the best Arsenal shirts in years.
A lot of Arsenal fans say if we can produce kits like, if we could play football like the kits, then we'll be winning Premier League every season. But obviously, they obviously put more money in the kit design rather than their squad depth. Great tackle
Madison
again.
Nearly a good through ball from Madison as well there.
That was a great tackle from Luke Thomas to stop the advance and almost led to a chance. So great tackle from Luke Thomas there.
We've been seeing a lot of, I feel like both teams have been trying to play a lot of through balls, and there have been some excellent interceptions. Yeah. Got to give credit where it's due. Wolves' defense has done very well. I feel like one or two slip-ups and we could be 2-3 up at the moment right now, but interceptions when they need it.
Sumare, Vestergaard, and Chadri are warming up as we speak, probably ready for coming on second half. But no, Wolves have had a shot from range and
well over the bar.
And they might be playing rugby.
I was going to say, someone at the City Ground, watch out because that ball is going to Nottingham.
Oh, that's good, actually. Good knowledge. That's good knowledge.
I looked on Google Maps, tried to get all the cities in the area. How do you feel about the Spurs away shirt, that sort of Galaxy kit? I love it.
Everyone's like ripping into it. I really like. That's the thing with the home shirt. You can't dig away. You can't vary away from the home shirt because it's the home shirt. You've got to stick with the blue. You've got to stick with some of the additional stuff and the gold. But the away-in fur kit you can experiment with. Oh, great defending.
Excellent
again
header by Ricardo there. Stops Traore. He would have he wouldn't have been alone, but he would have been probably last man and goalkeeper.
No, Amarte
got
got back and made sure got back to Schmeichel, so everyone's got each other's back. It looks like, you know, one person may slip, but the next person behind them's got them covered. But I love Spurs' third kit. I think it's really adventurous. I think it's different. It's recognisable. So, plus, if you spill something on it, you can't tell.
Very fair point. I was going to say, as a Leicester fan, there's a surprising few things that I'll complain about Spurs about. I feel like you can get more complaints out of others, but
I think
my biggest complaint is that they never put their kits on sale. They're always full price.
Yeah. If Jamie's watching this, he's gonna have a go at me for swearing on stream, which is Spurs. So I do apologise.
Fair enough. I forgot that we're supposed to say Spuds.
Oh. The problem we're having at the moment is what I'm realising is that we're trying to go down the wing, but the problem is that every time we do go down the wing, Wolves counter. So I'm just wanting us to be a bit more, you know, consistent with our passing at the top of the field. If we're going to play this sort of high line, we have to make sure we don't give away the ball silly, because if they do counter with Traore, it'll be in trouble. So, but it's been all right so far. We've defended well.
It definitely feels like the strength of a good through ball
great
here.
pass.
Chance for shot by Vardy. Well saved by Jose Sa.
Good save.
Madison was available on a through pass there. I'm surprised that he took the shot himself.
But again, would have been offside.
Good play by Vardy to be on the shoulder.
No, I think Vardy should have passed to Madison there. Madison's reaction just showed that he was upset with him not getting passed. But speaking of Madison, like, we know that the transfer gossip has dropped between Madison and Arsenal. But after seeing Arsenal's performance last night, do you think any player would be going, that's a team we want to join? You know, if Arsenal come for Madison in the future, do you think he'll go, actually, they're not the sort of team I want to be with, because they're not growing, they're just dropping steadily. So would you think Madison will want to join a club like Arsenal?
I'm torn on that, because I feel like, you know, I feel like both North London clubs love to say that when they knock, it's a different kind of knock. I think that's what's waning, because I don't think you're going to get as many players. Hearing about a transfer from like Manchester United to Arsenal, or Manchester City to Arsenal, or Chelsea to Arsenal, maybe not Chelsea to Arsenal, but from any of the big clubs to Arsenal wouldn't have been out of the ordinary even 3 years ago. But now it feels more like Arsenal are able to draw in still from other leagues, because they have that prestigious name. It gets your name in lights. It's good for building your career. But they don't have that "we will win trophies with you" pull anymore. Good play up front.
It's
both teams are making gets blocked.
Both teams are making great interceptions. It's not easy to get a through ball. Maybe Brandon's thinking about second half. Right, this isn't working. Change tactic. I think I'll be thinking that, because like we're putting good crosses in, we're making good challenges, but it's not kind of there. We're just so close to finishing it, but we're not quite there. Maybe I think a few tactical changes need to come in.
Yeah, I was going to say, it feels like at the moment we're doing well at playing up along the wings. However, because they're playing that three at the back, it's very hard for us to get in through the middle. So the moment we then try to play the ball in, unless it's been a cross, it's been tough for us to get
defending.
There. Good.
That's
defending
a
by
horrible challenge.
Hard challenge.
That's a hard challenge on Tielemans. I think that should be a yellow card offence, that is, but I think it's just going to get over a warning. But
looks like that was Marcel playing very hard into Tielemans, trying to keep the ball, and just absolutely takes his shins out.
No more breaking legs. Thank you, Leicester. Oh, that easily could have been a leg break.
We've had our broken legs for the season before the season began.
Yeah, and it wasn't just any player; it was our key player.
Yeah, and honestly, that's another. It's created a big hole in the team, because we were so strong across the pitch, but because we were already missing Evans, it almost feels like we're in a bit of a Liverpool situation where I feel there's going to be a lot of rotation of center back partnerships as players come back in.
But the difference is that we're very good at finding centre backs that are mistake from the keeper that goes out for a corner.
Risky business offside there from Jose Sa.
Went out
unfortunately offside, but he comes out to try to play the ball out, play sweeper keeper there, but just misses his footing and the ball trickles out for what would have been a corner, but appears to have been offside on the lofted through ball.
But I think it's been a lot tighter than people would have thought. Wolves have come out the gate. We're definitely on the front foot for the first 5-10 minutes, but after that, it's been pretty 50-50. It's been, I wouldn't say.
Sorry,
but the thing is, I think the good thing I'm seeing is that defensively, I'm not saying it now because Wolves are on the counter.
But I would say both teams have settled into the game.
Yeah, it's not like, no teams are looking nervous anymore. Both teams are settled in, making good passes, making good crosses. But all born out of players. What I was going to say was, before Wolves on the counter, was we've been good defensively so far. We've not been making any mistakes. Ricardo's been brilliant.
We'll say so. We got some big Tom fans in the chat. Tom will be coming in hopefully at possibly half and at full time. He's actually down at the King Power at the moment, giving his best to the team.
Yeah, that's the problem with COVID. That's the problem with COVID. With actually COVID easing, last season we're doing watch-alongs, and this season everyone's back. So you've got me and Elijah today.
Yeah, well, you'll be seeing more of a rotation of hosts for sure. Especially a lot of the people who aren't from the city of Leicester, because of course a lot of the Leicester Fan TV team, they're season ticket holders. So quite rightly, they'll be going to as many games as they can, making up for lost time on last season.
But no, any away games or small cup games, I'm sure they'll be back. Traore's using his pace to get in the wing.
Tries to play across, well blocked by Ricardo, out for a throw into Wolves, right by the corner flag. Enjoying the chat. Thank you for that, Faith Bean. Take part. Let us know what you're thinking of the game. Let us know what you're thinking of. If there's something you want us to talk about, ask us questions. We are here not just to talk about the game, but to sort of create a bit of a fan forum here. So please come take part, and we'll be uploading. We'll be putting up links at possibly half and at full time for sure. So please make sure to join in the discussion. ZM, I guess you must live somewhere around the King Power, and you can hear the fans at the stadium from my house. It's fantastic. Yeah, that's one of the greatest things. So I saw we have to keep the game on mute while we're watching because we don't want to get our commentary jumbled up with their commentary, so we can't hear the crowd at the moment. But I watched the Brentford versus Arsenal game, and the organic roar of the crowd when Brentford scored the first goal is just something that I have missed so dearly. Even though, I haven't seen a game in England yet. I haven't had the chance, but even just hearing it over a speaker, it was a magical moment.
The game's kind of slowed down a bit now. Speaking of that, we're on the counter-attack. Good tackle by Wolves, and Wolves in possession again.
Wolves are coming in on the wing. Great interception, and out for a Wolves throw-in the Wolves technical area.
See Wolves fans we can't hear them, but we know they're making some noise.
Yep, whole lot of clapping going around in the orange part of the stadium over there. Maddie coming in with, if Leicester don't win this, I don't think you'll get top 6. I'm not so sure about that because we still managed top 6, and we had some shockers last season.
Last season we played poorly in a few games. It's the first game of the season. It's only been half an hour, so even if we do concede soon, we could easily come back into the game. But, Wolves isn't an easy opponent. Vardy's on the ball.
Nearly a defensive mistake there that drops the ball for Vardy, but a good tackle. Lofted through ball. Vardy is in alone.
He's got the ball.
Oh, he tries a cheeky back heel around the keeper, but it just doesn't work out for him. Lots of applause coming in from the crowd for that. If that scored, that could have been goal of the season already. On the first match day. I think he was onside there too. But yeah, unfortunately just doesn't make the connection that he needs, but what a goal that could have been.
Yeah, he couldn't
perfectly chipped Jose Sa. But yeah, Saiz would have been there had that been a more solid shot.
This just shows how...
I was just going to quickly answer this one. So I am going to say, I mentioned it before. I know I sound it, but I'm actually Canadian. So I started lightly following Leicester I got into soccer in the 2006 World Cup and started following a bunch of English teams. But it was really hard to follow the teams in the lower leagues in depth. So like this would have been around when Leicester was in League One in the Championship. But right around the time around the Great Escape, 2014, 15, 2015, 16, that was when it started being more possible to follow Leicester City in Canada because you started being able to actually watch their games. They got covered in the newspapers. And that was sort of when I started to fall in love with the team. They felt like the best team that still played for the heart and for the badge. Whereas, you know, most of the time, if you're a Canadian fan, you support a Big 16 because they're who you can watch. But there, it doesn't feel as much like the players are part of a family as much as they do in Leicester.
Leicester passing around the middle of the field, just trying to find their way through the packed Wolverhampton Wanderers defence. You know, they're not making it easy for us to play our game, you know, playing our free balls, playing our lob balls. And every time we try and do that, Amati just made a mistake. He's passed it to Wolves. Wolves on the counter attack.
It's a through ball to Traore. Traore is in alone.
Traore is in alone, one-on-one.
And he has missed the
missed.
net.
Thank Lord, he's missed.
Goodness. That was shocking because that honestly should have been 1-0.
Amate
should tries to play it wide around Schmeichel and misses the post by, we must have been talking maybe
inches,
less than a foot, the width of the ball at best.
No, that should have been 1-0 to Wolves there. Amate made a massive error, and this is where, you know, we need players like Fofana, Evans, and Vestergaard back. Vestergaard, because those mistakes. If he had a more clinical finisher, 1-0.
Totally. I'm surprised that he went for placement at the side of the net. Usually when you see a break like that, you'd expect him to try to chip.
Yeah.
But Leicester get off on a break there. Very
Maddison is down injured, holding his hip.
He is currently talking to some medical staff who are there with some bottles. Rogers is now talking tactics with Tielemans, Perez, and Vardy.
I think Maddison's gone down because I think maybe he's a bit tired, or don't know. But it's good to get some tactics from the manager. But
yeah, if I recall, his hip had been giving him some trouble in the off season, so it's possible that might have flared back up.
No, the medical staff gave him the funds up. He still can play. But I think we needed this little break. Give Brennan a chance to speak to the team.
Looks like everyone is now taking a chance to get some hydration, get some tactics. I think that was Raul Jimenez, very, very animated in the Wolves technical area, speaking with his teammates. Talking about injuries starting to come back in for the team, I'm not as worried about it this time as I was last season, because we've built a lot more depth around the team, both in terms of youth players coming up, as well as through new signings that we've made. So we're a much stronger team, not just on the surface, but through depth as well. So I'm not as worried about injuries. Jim Ross saying, do we think we can make top 4? I think we're going to be in the race at the very least, but I think it's way too early days to say.
Yeah, we
with
can't.
Certainty.
Yeah, I
would say 6th at least, but 6th, 5th, 4th could be anyone's guess at the moment.
Well, I've said before, you know, I think consistency is the key. If we keep on getting top 4, 5th, 6th every season, then we're doing our job of breaking up the top 6. You know, if we come in 6th, 5th, 4th, a top 6 team is coming out the top 6. You know, we're breaking into that sort of. That was a bad tackle on Perez there.
Yeah, I was going to say Perez takes a shoulder to the face from Marsal there. He is on the ground in some pain. Marsal being quite animated, looks like possibly with the referee. Jose Perez is slow to get up, being checked on by the referee and Vardy at the moment, but looks like the medical team won't be needed. I don't think there was any malice in this. It doesn't look intentional, but
no.
Oh my goodness. So Perez was on his way down after being knocked over just from a shoulder barge. It was a fair challenge, but Marcel's knee comes up and catches Perez. Looks like right beside the eye. That's a rough knock, but it looks like he'll be okay. But just needs a minute to get his bearings again.
For a free kick to Leicester.
I think it could be a drop ball.
No, I think it's not direct; it's indirect. So
yeah, you're right. So we've got a third time asking who we think will win the match. I was confident of Leicester early, but Wolves have been proving threatening on the counter. I think this could end in a draw at the moment, but with halftime, if Leicester clean up a little bit, I think we can still take this game.
It's hard. Like, I think we can't judge this game in the first half. Like, it's the first half back. Perez is making a run, cleared, and then Ricardo's making a get ready for the cross. He can't do it.
Oh, Ricardo just
tried to just get past two players.
What a goal!
1-0 to Leicester! Great goal!
Absolutely gorgeous play right there. And he is back. Jamie Vardy is having a party. Can we also just mention, before that goal was scored, Ricardo Pereira just sent two Wolves defenders back to the shops in Wolverhampton there. What a play.
It was Ricardo who did that.
Absolutely gorgeous. So, to be Tom for a... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Where's the goal animation?
I was about to say, to be Tom for a moment, it's Leicester City 1, Wolverhampton Wanderers 0. But a nice round of applause there for what was a fantastic play. Great play by Ricardo to get in there. And Vardy may have just gotten the monkey off his back. He'd been in a bit of a scoring drought, but what a goal to get back in. He shouts to the Leicester fans, he is back. There it is from Jack Fridger. Even
Ricardo
at 34,
deserves all the credit. Ricardo made past two players, did not give up. Perez did well there as well. Great crossing. Vardy, nice flick, top left corner. No chance for Sarr. Great goal. 1-0 to Leicester before the end of the first half.
That you got it exactly there. Just stunning goal there. I just cannot get over the play from Ricardo that led up to that.
Ricardo did well drawing Wolves defenders back. Ricardo, we caught Wolves napping. Perez drew forwards. Ricardo did the cross. Vardy did a lovely flick, top left corner. 1-0. Brilliant.
Now we're going to have to see how this might change the mentality of the match, because now Wolves are going to have to start pushing harder. They had that good chance with Traore earlier. Yeah. They've been taking us on the break. Are they going to go for a higher press now? Because we are now seeing Trincao trying to pressure Soyuncu there. We do play out of it, but they are now playing closer to us. They're not letting us have as much peace on the ball.
This is the problem. If they do that, we just play four at the back, and then we've got Vardy on the counter.
Just a quick thank you to Fee with the 99 pence super sticker. Thank you very much. Those super stickers do well to help us pay for StreamYard, keep the channel up.
What did you say, 99? Did you say 99?
I said 99 pence.
Okay. If you said cents, I would have been annoyed.
I did not say cents, because that wouldn't be the same. No, 99
Thanks, Fee. Appreciate it.
So, much appreciated. You are a gem.
And plus, if we score 38 goals or if we score over 100 goals, then you'd be a very poor end of the season.
Matty coming in.
Great goal.
Watford 2-0 up on Aston Villa, apparently.
I'm going to check. So I'm just going to go. I'm just going to go for the Premier League scores for everyone. So at the moment, it's Brentford won 2-0 yesterday. Manchester United won 5-1 today with Bruno Fernandes getting a hat trick. We're currently beating Wolves 1-0. Chelsea beating Palace 2-0. Watford 2, Aston Villa 0. Everton 0, Southampton 1. Burnley 1, Brighton 0. They're the current scores for the Premier League this afternoon.
I realized that I didn't have the banner on the screen. I'm going to put the score line back up there. So for any of you who might have just joined recently, current score is Leicester City 1, Wolves 0. A beautiful
Great by
goal.
Marte. Great play by Marte.
Schmeichel plays it out, but only right to a Wolves player. Ball is currently right on the border of the Leicester third. Try to play to Traore on the wing. Plays a weak
Great
foot
crossing by
cross
Traore.
in with the outside of
in
the
his hands.
foot. right into the hands of Schmeichel, who will gladly hold that ball. We are 40 seconds away from the 45-minute mark.
What would you, before going into halftime, what would you take from this first half? Would you say it's been a solid half? Do you think it's been like, you know, getting used to Premier League again and getting a good goal, or do you think we've been lucky? What's your take on the first half, you know, for Leicester City?
Would love to hear that from the chat as well. I would say that it's an earned lead. It's been a very tight game. I don't think we deserve to be more than 1-0 up, but Leicester have been the better team. We've had quality chances. Realistically, Traore should have scored.
Speaking of that, we're on the break. Harvey Barnes on the left.
Oh, Vardy, or no, that was Barnes trying to play a very
save.
cheeky
Barnes.
ball on the left post, but Jose saw wiser to it and collects the ball. Ball back with Ndidi, out on the wing to Barnes, has 3 defenders on him at the moment, has no choice but to turn back to Madison on the outside of the box, plays across to Perez. Tielemans from distance, great diving save from Jose Sa. Tielemans doing his best to replicate the FA Cup final there with a rocket from distance. But Jose Sa at full stretch manages to parry that wide of the left post, and it is out for a Leicester City corner. Just like Ryan Wellesley says, they're nearly 2-0 there. But yes, I would say that that's a perfect example that this is a deserved lead. We have been the better team, but it is still a little close. Nick Nettlebeck, thank you for the sub. We do a lot of content beyond just the watch-alongs. We do fan chats, as well as updates on the team and what is going on all around Leicester City. So yeah, make sure to give us a subscribe. We got a lot of programming going on, a lot of places for you to take part as well.
So the corner was just defended well by Wolves, is back at the halfway line. Leicester just trying to pass it around, waiting till half-time, or just trying to find another way in. But ever since we've scored, we've been on the front foot. We've not given Wolves a second on their own.
We'll just chime in there as well that it is 2 minutes of added time, and we are already through 1.5 minutes of that, as Harvey Barnes tries to play through the defense on the outside of the area. I think that was Kiana Hoover, clears it out, and that is back towards the halfway line with 15 seconds to go. Traore barrels into, I think, a Marte there, which stops his run, and the ball is back to Schmeichel. Fee coming in here. Vardy scoring proves he is not done yet, and we will have a great season. Honestly, it felt a bit as though Vardy not having scored towards the end of the season, people
it's
worried that he might get
halftime.
into a bit of a funk. Yes, it is halftime. So that brings us to half. It is Leicester City 1, Wolverhampton Wanderers 0 at halftime. And with that, give us your thoughts on the first half. Like we were just chatting before the end of the first half, seems like a deserved lead. We have been the better team, but it has been close. Lillian Rama coming in. We're missing something in attack. I'd say that we've still been good, though. You know, we've been... it has been tight. However, we've been strong. We've played some good through balls. It's been narrow. There's been a few interceptions from the Wolves defense that, again, 1 or 2 slip-ups, and we could be 2-3-0 up. I'm going to put the StreamYard link in the chat. If you'd like to give us your first half thoughts, chat with us on camera, please click on the link and join us and give us a quick chat.
Well, I'll be going for a few minutes. I just need a quick break, so I'll be back shortly after a short interval, as Americans would call it.
Exactly. So, John, I'll let you go there for a moment. You and Moss coming in. It is the Vardy party so much. Lillian Rama saying that Barnes has been giving the ball away too much. But at the same time, it has been his responsibility to sort of play up the flank and play those crosses in. It's easy for him to be the player that's giving it away too much because he's going to not only be being marked while he's coming in off the wing, but also he has the chance to lose the ball when he plays those crosses in. It's a tough position that we're playing him in. I think he still held his own pretty well. I don't think that we have any reason to really be complaining at the moment. It feels like it has been a strong first half from Leicester. Juicy, what are you guys watching this on? So I'm from Canada, which means that we do have the Canadian broadcaster available to us. That's where we're going to be watching the game from, and we're therefore providing the commentary back to you. Leicester linked with Domenico Berardi from Sassuolo. So I haven't actually heard about these rumors yet. However, I do know that Berardi is a class player. We've definitely seen him play well, especially at the Euros. Sassuolo, though, he's a big player for them. So I can't imagine he's going to go cheap. And we're a shrewd team when it comes to our transfers. So I don't know if I really feel like we would take Berardi as much as we would take, again, unfortunately, his name losing, but we're linked with a right winger from PSV. I feel like we'd be more likely to take from him just as players are cheaper from the Eredivisie than they are from Serie A. Thoughts on Watford? Honestly, I underestimated them based on what we're seeing from them in their first match. So they've gone into the first half, I believe, 2-0 up on Aston Villa. Now, Villa, they are going to start to struggle having lost Jack Grealish. I didn't expect them to be 2-0 down to Wolves, though. So I would say that they're impressing. And honestly, I feel like a lot of promoted teams get underestimated. We've seen that with the way that Arsenal played against Brentford. And we're apparently now seeing that with the way that Aston Villa are playing against Watford. So honestly, more power to them. I'd love to see a little bit more rotation in the Premier League. Stop seeing clubs just come up and go down. So yeah, I'd love to see Watford keep that form up. Thank you for that. Madueke is the player that we're linked to from PSV. And again, just Eredivisie, a great place to develop young players, and you can then sign them pretty cheap. So I think that he is a more likely signing than Domenico Berardi because especially not only is he a key player for Sassuolo, but a good Euros really drives up a price. You saw what happened with Lukaku. He was a class player already to begin with, but over 100 million euros post a good showing in the Euros. Kevin Robinson coming in saying a player swap for Perez. I'm assuming you mean that for Berardi. I'm not so sure that it happened because, again, I'd say that Perez gets a little bit unnecessary hate from some of our fans. I think that he's still a good player to keep for depth. It will depend on how much playtime that he wants because I think that if we do sign a new RW, it would probably be the person that we're going to be putting into that starting rotation. If Perez wants to start week in, week out, then it might be time for him to go. I'd love to keep him as a depth player. Jack Fridger predicted Watford 19th. This is only the first half from 38 matches, but at the same time, I personally would say that on paper, I would have thought Watford Villa to be a mismatch, but 2-0 is a quite reasonable lead to keep. Jeremy Doku from Rennes. Again, similarly, the Ligue 1 is another great league for development. Rennes as well, not a team that have been playing as much in the higher echelons, probably not going to be as expensive as signing a player from Lille, for example. I have heard very good things about Doku. I wouldn't mind taking him. Again, it'll all come down to the costs. Kevin Robinson saying Vardy seems back to his old self again today. I would agree with that. One of the things that we mentioned before during the half was that one of Vardy's biggest strengths is that he's not just a goal scorer, but his speed and his mentality can pull defenders with him, which clears space that can then be played in for Barnes to come in on the other side of the penalty area, even Tielemans to come in and play higher up. You saw actually the way just before halftime, Tielemans played in a rocket of a shot from outside the penalty area. Vardy was getting double marked at the time. So he's pulling those defenders away, which gives room for some of our other players to come in and attack strongly. What about Vestergaard? So Vestergaard started on the bench today. It would not surprise me to see him come in maybe around the 55th, 60th minute mark. I could see him coming in sort of similarly to Albrighton, someone who can come in, marshal the troops, calm the players down, make sure that what we have, we hold. He's very new to the team, so I could see why he might not play the full 90 minutes just because of the fact that he might not be as familiar with the tactics that we're going to be playing. It takes a little bit of time post-signing to really get into that groove, so perhaps not giving him the full 90. Jake Short, what a cross by Ricardo. Vardy has been playing well first half. Some excellent link-up play that led to the Leicester goal in that first half. One of the things that we did see there was the fact that Ricardo just sent two Wolves defenders back to the shops. Both were marking him very, very tightly, yet he managed to play through them. And I'll be honest, I said in the offseason that I saw Ricardo as more of a defensive type player than attacking, but that is showing some might there, the way that he played. Anthony Beebe saying, Perez offers nothing. Defenders just walk by him. I think that's a little bit unjustified. I don't think that he's that bad. He's inconsistent, but he's not consistently bad. Lillian Rama, Adama Traore at right wing, would you take him? Traore is a class player. A little bit like Perez, I think he gets a little bit of undue hate from a lot of players, but I think he's a big, big player that's helping to keep Wolves in their position, helping to keep them competitive. I'm going to say the same thing that I've said to a lot of the transfer links that we've talked about. Because he's so core to the Wolves lineup, I don't see him going for a price that Leicester will take. Because again, we're shrewd. We prefer to sign players that might go a little bit under the radar, and then we can develop them into the kind of players that you then end up seeing. Like N'Golo Kante is probably our most shining example of that. Sign him from the French league and develop him into a world beater, really. He's great in English. I also like Ihadaran, who plays CAM, but he can also play right wing. And I signed Torgan Hazard from BVB in my career mode. I'll tell you what. So I've actually been playing a career mode as well on as a Leicester City striker. And we signed Torgan Hazard as well. Who knows? Maybe there's something in the stars for that. I know there's also been some rumors that Hazard might be leaving Borussia Dortmund. I believe it's because of the amount of play time that he's getting. So again, not so sure that Leicester City would be the place that Hazard could go. One, possibly because of the costs, but two, I think he'd be more of a rotation player. I can't see him unseating a player like, say, a Tielemans or a Madison immediately. And I think he's looking to go somewhere where he's going to start week in, week out. Anthony Beebe, Ricky P looking like the player of old. I would totally agree with that. And Ivan Nylander, what a goal by the complete striker, Jamie Vardy. Yes, we have started to see him coming back to his old self. And talking about coming back, Jono is back. So let me add you back in. How's it going, Jono?
I'm back, full refreshed. So let's say hi to my fiance. And a few grapes. We've got a few grapes and some more water. So I'm all refreshed and ready for the second half.
I will tuck into some summer fruits, although, of course, other drinks are available.
Had to add that in. Other water's available. I'm just other fruits are available as well.
Ivan Nylander, so proud here in Sierra Leone for our first goal. We will win. I'm confident. We played well in that first half. I think we're going to see a lot in the first 10 minutes, like 45 to 55th minute. We're going to really be seeing the way that Wolves come back into this. Like, their manager is going to take into them a little bit, and we need to be sure that we can adapt to that. However, I'm still confident.
This is why I'm really happy about this season, because we've got the last season, if we wasn't playing great or had an injury, we didn't have that sort of backup, the squad depth to pick it up, because last season we could have Mendy was our main substitute, or a few years ago Damari Gray. This season we've got Daka, Sumer, we've got Brighton, we've got Chowdhury, we've got all these players who make a difference, and so I think that'd be really. I can't wait to see how that would impact how Wolves react, because if Wolves react, positively and they go on the attack, then we can change our tactics on our squad to fit with that. If we, to rest players, we could bring players on to rest them. So yeah, I think we could adapt really well to how they Wolves come out in the second half.
I'd love to bring this up for a little bit of discussion. It's a little bit of off topic for the game, but Schmeichel or Banks? So I'm assuming we're talking like all-time Leicester keepers here.
Yeah.
I mean, Banks is a legend, and by no means should we downplay that at all. And definitely there's some recency bias here because, I wasn't around for when Banks was playing. But while I would say Banks is a better keeper than Schmeichel, I think Schmeichel has contributed more to Leicester City.
I would say Schmeichel, not just on a football point of view, but on a personal point of view, because he's been through so much. He tried to rescue people from the helicopter crash. He watched Eriksen have a heart attack on the pitch during the Euros. He watched Fofana's leg get split in half, the other week. He's been through so much as a person, and he comes back stronger and stronger every time. He's come to his form in his life at the moment. He's performing so well as a keeper. So I think Banks will always be a legend. I think Banks, he deserves his place as one of the top keepers in Leicester history. But from what I've experienced on and off the pitch, I think Schmeichel for me is like my favourite keeper.
I think that's fair. So like I would say there's almost definitely stories about Gordon Banks that I don't know. However, you're very true there that Schmeichel is a consummate leader, both for Denmark and for Leicester City, and that is so important to a team. I'd say that you kind of get a little bit similar with Edwin van der Sar when he used to play for Manchester United in 2007, 2008. He was that old guard, calm head who could marshal anyone else on the team. And he'd been at United for a long time at that point. That those kinds of leaders are the kind of people that guide a team and might not get as much credit because the credit will always go to the people who set up the goals and score the goals, but he's just as important. But at the end of the day, I would say build either of them a statue outside of the King Power. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I saw comments about when Justin's back. He'll be back hopefully just before Christmas. He'll be back November time, December time, hopefully.
Yes, thank you for that. So I did see that comment. I personally hadn't seen any news about that, so thank you for weighing in there. I can say that that's pretty true. Canada's an odd country when it comes to soccer because our women's team is one of the best in the world. We just won Olympic gold in women's soccer, but our men's football team is it's more of a flounderer. The women's team is pulling in a lot of sponsorship money that's helping us to develop our men's side, but we've been very much, at least in the North American scene, under the shadow of the United States and Mexico because they have such more robust development systems. But where Canada does have a strength is the fact that we're a very diverse country with a lot of people that really love soccer, a lot of people from different backgrounds, and that creates a really good team cohesion. So even though like Davies and David are probably the only like world beater class players that you're going to see day in, day out in Canada or in Europe from Canada, we still play well as a team unit.
I didn't really watch we'll spend women's football. We've got plans on Leicester Fan TV to bring more women guests and talk about more women's football a lot more. We know there's been a discussion about us not mentioning it enough, but don't worry, we've got some plans lined up for being involved more in Leicester in the women's football because I do think it's important to discuss the men's side with the women's side. You know, Leicester City as an entity is growing. We've got the stadium being expanded. We've got the new facilities being built around it. You know, women's are in the Super League. Obviously, we're in the Europa League. So I think it's good to get every team discussed, though. I think it's good that women's football is getting bigger and we are going to introduce it more to Leicester Fan TV in the future.
Yeah, I would also definitely mention that like we love to discuss the fact that Leicester took home trophies. We took home the FA Cup and we took home the Community Shield, but let's not forget that the women's team also took home the FA Women's Championship, another trophy in the Leicester City cabinet. They're doing very, very well as well. I know, I believe they beat Liverpool 3-1 in preseason as well. The future is bright. The future is very bright. Both for the men's and women's team. The future is very bright, and it is a good time to be a Leicester fan.
Yeah, everything is developing for every squad, even our youth squad. You know, we've got Harvey Butt, we've got Luke Thomas for our development squad. We've got Dewsbury Hall coming through our development squad. We've got players coming through our academy as well. So all in all, we're growing as much more as a team. So definitely be discussed here. But the players just walking back out onto the pitch. Wolves have been on there for a few minutes. Leicester just walked out back on the pitch. We're about to start the second half.
Yep. Just before we start the second half, just want to give a quick thanks to Heather for the shout out. We're here as fans, and we just love the chance to sort of share a little bit of Leicester City with you. So glad to hear that you're appreciating it.
So showing the owner top sitting next to the empty chair. That was Veach Eyes. He would have loved to have seen Leicester play today in the first game back of the season, but he's there in spirit, and he'll be, be looking down on us, wishing us luck for the new season.
Yep. As we just kick off the second half, I think it is also important to mention that when you look at it word for word, we are living Vishai's dream at the moment. I believe it was 2011. He said that we would be challenging for the top 6, and that is exactly what we are doing. We are up there with the big players. A lot of people are already saying that we could take the mantle of Arsenal in the Big Six. I'm more of a proponent myself of saying, let's make it a Big Seven. But we're a major challenging side. We are playing in Europe, and that is exactly what Vichai set out to do.
Well, what just playing? No, we've played in Europe 3 times, 3 seasons in 6 years. Champions League, when we won the Premier League, and then this is our second time in the Europa League. You know, we've been in Europe more than Arsenal and Spurs have recently. So, no, Spurs are in the Conference League, which doesn't really count as they get into Europa League. But if we can win a European trophy before those 2 teams, that'll pick a big statement into where Leicester are going this as a club. So we are living Vichai's dream, winning trophies. We're challenging with the top 6. When he said that, everyone was laughing at him. It's like, oh, no chance. We're just small Leicester. Look where we are now.
I feel like every owner, when they buy a club, you could look at like the Venkies and Blackburn. They love to say when they will be challenging for Europe, and I have a 5-year plan. Like Darlington's owner said that he had a 5-year plan to be in the Premier League, and look at where that club ended up. So I think Leicester fans definitely need to be thankful for
Wolves on the counter attack.
Handed.
Wolves come out the second half very strong, and they've want to make amends for the first half.
With Traore on the wing, he's been given a lot of space.
Yeah,
I'm quite surprised with that. Dances past 3 defenders, plays it out wide to their number 2. Just doing a double check to Kiana Hoover, who plays in a cross. Lands to Traore on the outside of the area. He's crowded in. Shot is blocked. Played out by Soyuncu only as far.
They're taking a shot, and it's gone over the bar.
Yes, that was Raul Moutinho. Blasted it not quite as high as their shot from the first half, but comfortably over the bar. Jovan Chima saying that the Europa League is different, though. One thing that I think is important to remember, especially in like the greater context of Leicester City, is that we're not saying that this is where we're stopping, but we're a team that's building still. So even the fact that we have made it to Europe so soon after being a League One side is an achievement. And we can't say that like we've made Europa League, so next season we're going to make Champions League. Next season we're going to win Champions League or something like that.
Oh, Leicester on the counter at High Barnes on the left, making a good run.
Harvey Barnes in the area, plays it out wide to, I believe, Luke Thomas. Back to Harvey Barnes on the outside of the area, plays it to Ndidi. Tielemans.
You're 1 second ahead of me.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
No, it's fine. You commentate. I'll just watch.
Perez out on the right wing, plays it back to Ricardo. Ricardo being crowded by 2 players, and Traore takes possession.
They obviously realised, Traore's made it past 2 players. Past 3 players. This is what Traore is dangerous. He makes it past players with ease.
Ball then falls to Francisco Trincao on the outside of the area. Plays it into space. Defenders flagging for offside, and looks like it has been ruled.
That wasn't. You see, the linesman flagged when the goal score opportunity is finished. So that's when he made that. So he didn't flag it. He flagged it soon. See, look, it flagged it then. So
yep,
that's what I liked about this new VAR rule. Waiting 10 minutes after the actual offside to make the decision.
Jack Fridger saying for Wolves, Patricio or Jose Sa. I'm assuming you're asking like who's been better for the team. I think it's too early to call on Jose Sa.
Yeah, he's just his first game. He's looked good, to be fair. He hasn't had many, challenging saves to make. Most of them have been to him, apart from the one that's Vardy's went in. But he's controlled the ball well. He's passed it out from the back well. Oh, Leicester on the counter attack. Oh, lucky.
Harvey Barnes just miscontrols it, but if he held that ball or pushed it forward, he would have been alone. Ball is out, I believe, for a Wolves throw-in their defensive third. Again, both teams very settled into this and both still trying to play that through ball. I think we've seen a little more success from Wolves than Leicester at the moment. But it's coming down to who's winning in the midfield, and it's been a battle there.
Yeah, it's difficult for us to make a challenge. Luke Thomas, great tackle, thrown to Wolves. But I could see Brendan making a change here. Wolves come out a lot stronger than in the second half. I could see Brendan making a few tackle changes. Maybe Perez coming off. I could see Vestergaard coming on. I could see Daka coming on. I could see Sumer coming on. I think there's Sumer coming on. Sumare. I think those 3 subs are coming on. Great tackle.
Yeah, I was going to say maybe I could see Albrighton, but yeah, I think Sumare is a great shout as well as Vestergaard. Just to like we were mentioning, like 2 players can help sort of calm down marshal the troops, get heads level. And of course, Vestergaard's size will be quite beneficial to us in the defense, just someone who can be an imposing presence in the box. Just getting a close-up look of Raul Jimenez in his protective headgear.
It is nice. It is nice to see him back.
Exactly. And we'll just put Nick Nettle back up. A quick shout-out.
Oh, Marty, what are you doing? That's 2 massive mistakes he's made.
Oh, my goodness. Ball falls to Raul. Excellent block.
Great
by
save.
Chalar Soyuncu.
That's a second, almost game-defining mistake from Amarte's made in the game. That is awful.
We were mentioning that Amarte can get a little bit inconsistent, and that is where we're starting to see it. That he's made some great challenges, but then he goes and does that. I could see him being the person to come off to bring Vestergaard on.
As I said, against community in the community shield, he deserves this opportunity to play, but he's not the player to stay on because his mistakes are causing these. If it was a better team, it would be 2-1 easily.
Agreed.
So
Tielemans clears the corner pretty easily, and it is upfield for a Wolves throw-in at the halfway. So we've gotten out of that, but that was uncomfortable.
Yeah, I don't want to see that again. I think Brendan will be getting Vestergaard warmed up very, very, very quickly.
Yep, I feel like Amarte is just not there yet, like you were saying, to start in the Premier League. He's going to be our FA Cup and our League Cup center back.
Yeah, I'm not saying he shouldn't be playing at all. He still deserves to be a Leicester player, but I don't think he should be in our squad that is going to be our starting 11 for the majority of the season. I just don't see him. He doesn't have that consistency that we want to see. Like, Soyuncu just make mistakes, but he's good.
Just for a quick update, Raul did get a bit of a headed chance, but he didn't quite get the contact that he needed, and it dribbles happily into the arms of Schmeichel. And as it stands at the moment, Leicester are passing the ball around in our defensive third. Wolves holding formation, trying to make it hard for us to pass through them.
Every time Marty gets the ball in the back, I'm scared. I'm being... Oh, great turn by Thomas, but unlucky.
Yeah, just unfortunately doesn't get the control that he needs, but a good turn to get clear of his man. Nick Nettlebeck asking, how has Barnes been for us? I saw a comment earlier saying that he'd been giving away possession too much. I don't have any complaints about his performance so far. I feel like he's done the job. Players lose the ball from time to time. I feel like he's done fine.
I think it's been good. I think obviously he's not made an assist or great runs into the box, but what he's been doing is giving the defenders issues. He's been making good runs on the wing. Oh, was that Marty again? No, it wasn't. That was Ndidi.
It's a good through ball, but Amarte makes the tackle. And you could see him hold his hands out, just sort of, everybody, let's calm down here.
Yeah.
Trying to level the heads.
That's the problem. He can be good. He's made 2 silly passes that could have cost us the game, and
it's kind of interesting to see that that's where his strengths lie. Like, his passing isn't as strong, but he can make a tackle when you need it.
Yeah,
he's a much more solid presence than I would have expected.
Yeah, and that's why the experience comes in. We need those sort of players to know. Oh, that's a free kick from Luke Thomas. That's
it's like a
from Harvey Barnes.
Trailing arm just knocked him over.
I think that might be the first yellow card for Leicester. I think. I don't know.
Could be the referee's talk. I don't think that'd be a booking personally. I feel like it's more just going to be a talking to. But
yeah, I don't really think the referees like to give away cards in the first game of the season. But we need to be careful here. We've been poor. We've not been poor, but we've not had the ball much second half. We've not. It's been a bit iffy. I think we need to make some changes. I think Brendan wants to bring on a few players to change it a little bit. I'll bring off Perez and Amarte personally. They've not been, for me, influential enough to change the game. What do you think?
I'd agree. Yeah, it's nothing against Amarte personally, but it's just when we're at this point and you've made 2 mistakes, it's time for rotation.
The problem is that his confidence will grow, will go. You know, will make if it makes it again, it won't be so lucky.
Exactly, and their first game of the season, we need to make an impression. It's just not something that we can afford to do in terms of giving chance after chance. So yeah, and also
cross. That's a goal. It's gone. It's straight across to another Wolves player.
Yep. Trincao has it, passes it to. I keep having to turn back to find out who is what number. To Moutinho. Plays it back to Kilman. Kilman on the wing to Hoever. Hoever then plays it right back to the center back, which is interesting. That sort of kills the momentum there a little bit.
We just closed them down. We give them no options. On target, we've had 5 on target, seven attempts. They've had none on target, 7 attempts. So we've obviously been more clinical. Vestergaard is coming on. He's going to talk it to from Brendan Rodgers, and also Vestergaard will be placing Amate.
I've also just got to say, what a visual that you get to see of Vestergaard standing next to Brendan Rodgers, and he stands about an entire head taller than Brendan.
He's like looking down on him, but no. Obviously us two can't hear the sound, so we just want the chat to tell us the reaction to Vestergaard coming on as a new player. I want to hear the fans. What's the fans' reaction like for him coming on?
I was saying that I think he'd be a strong substitute to bring up. Raul just being given a lot of space, takes a shot, and it curves well wide of the net.
Yeah, Brendan's going to make a few changes. We've not been good the second half, and we need to make a few changes before Wolves take advantage of this possession, because we're holding on here to this win. What's its lead? Sorry.
We're giving them a little too much respect. I've noticed, especially around the corners of the box, we're giving Wolves a lot of space. Both Traore on the left, and I think that was I want to say that was. Oh no, that was Hoever on the right side of the box. We're just giving them acres of space where they can then come right up to the corner and take a shot to the corner of the box. That is.
Yeah, they come again. Wolves are on the right hand side attacking. Try to cross it over the bar.
Yep.
But they keep on coming. But we're defending it well. But I don't like it. I want us to settle down and have the ball. Soumer is also coming on.
That is Soumare getting tactical advice. Oh, no worries.
I
speak French, so I got to be able to.
Is actually Soumare?
Yeah, it would be like if you want me to bust out like the thick accent, which admittedly is not very good, it would be Boubakary Soumare.
Soumare, Tom was right all along. We're saying all.
Tom, I can guarantee you, Tom was right. That was a harsh slide tackle on Vardy from behind.
No,
I'll admit, I know I was just talking about bookings. I'm a little surprised we didn't see one there.
Well,
slide tackles from the back are harsh.
That should have been a yellow card. Yeah, I think the referee's been a bit, being a bit kind there. For me, that was a mere booking, but we move on. Leicester have actually got possession, which is nice.
A refreshing change. Leicester having the ball. Madison holding it just on the back of the middle third, and it's now being passed back and forth between Amarte and Soyuncu.
Not to Amarte, please. No, me wrong. He's a brilliant tackler. Great ball from Soyuncu. Leicester City now on the counter attack.
Oh my goodness!
Oh, that's a yellow card, ref. He just shoulder barged him.
Ricardo Pereira just gets knocked over by Marcel.
Here's the first booking of the game.
Is the first yellow card of the match.
Ricardo Pereira was going to just skip the ball around him. What is his name again?
That was Marcel.
Yeah, trying to get past him. He just denied, went, nope, you're not going past me. And it is the first booking of the game. Free kick to Leicester in the halfway line.
I was going to say, not quite a Chiellini Sacco tackle, but a harsh challenge to stop the run. Ball with Barnes, plays into the center, but very well marked. Overshoots his pass to Madison.
Good pass back into the middle. Who do you think is coming off for Soumare then? Would you think Madison's coming off? Do you think he's had a good enough game to stay on?
It's a very, very good question, because I wouldn't want to take Ndidi off. But I feel, because Soumare is going to be more defensive, it wouldn't surprise me if we might switch to just calming down, being more defensive, and swapping him out for Madison. I don't know. It's just because I've liked Madison's performance. I don't think he's been bad. But
Wolves down the right-hand side again.
Yep. Again, being given space near the corner. Traore in acres of space. Takes a shot, well blocked by Tielemans.
Well blocked.
And Barnes might be able to start a counter
on the counter attack now.
Oh, Vardy
Oh,
overplays his
unlucky.
through ball, but Barnes has
Harvey Barnes is still chasing it.
pace. Forces a back pass to the
played.
keeper. So at least Wolves' momentum is dropped.
Yeah, I reckon with a bit more consistency at the back with Vestergaard and Samare coming on, we'll be able
So
to
do a good
relax a bit
header
more.
back to Schmeichel and is down on the ground. It seems as though he might have taken a knock from Neves there. I think he's holding his head.
If he has to come off, then we have to keep Amate on.
No, I think he might have just been winded a little bit because he's not. Oh, we might have just waved the medical team on.
Well, they have to. It's on the head, so they have to.
That's fair. That's fair. He sat up quite quickly, so I'm
I don't think he's like
optimistic.
Let's have a look. Let's have a look.
I'm not sure what happened there. I even just got a close-up replay, but
yeah, I don't think the Wolves player touched him. I just think he fell over badly.
I thought he might have gotten pulled back there, but he's on his feet. Vestergaard is on. 18.
Madison is off. Sumare is on.
Yep.
That's the first sub.
And the fourth official is fumbling his notes, trying to adjust the signs. So we have a little bit of a delay to find out who Vestergaard is coming on for. Good call with Madison coming off, because again, you were right in that. Like, I wouldn't have thought we'd go more defensive like that, but there's just no one else in the midfield that I would take off for him.
Yeah, and then I was right as well. Paris coming off for Vestergaard.
Very interesting there. People who are clicking on the link, I am just going to mention. So we're not going to put people on screen during the match, but please click on after the game, and we'll get fans' conversation and input at full time.
I have to say, Brendan did this. I think we could have done this about 5 minutes early. I think we're quite lucky to still be 1-0 up. Wolves could have equalised, but no, I think it's made a tactical change. Let's see if that helps us maintain, consistency and not give away stupid balls, and hopefully get 2-0 up.
Now, I'm also wondering if a Perez for Vestergaard change might mean that we're going to be changing formation as well, putting more players.
We're going to play more defensive. I think Brenda's like we've got. Do you think we're trying to maintain the lead? I think personally we should try and bring on Daka for Amate, because then we could be more attacking. Maybe that's a shout.
Daka for Amate is bold, I would say.
But do you think Vardy and Daka would work well together? Do you think? I don't know. Maybe Dewsbury Hall could be more attacking. I don't know. But
yeah,
at the moment it looks like
I could see a Dewsbury Hall maybe for Barnes.
At the moment, I can see us playing more defensive because of Vestergaard coming on. But we are on the counter-attack. Sumer on the right to Ricardo.
He's very well marked. Plays it back to Sumare in midfield, and Didi forced to play it back. Amate plays a long ball up. Does find Vardy. Barnes is on the break.
Was on the break.
Excellent.
Oh, good
excellent
defending by
challenge
Wolves
there. I'm not sure which of their center backs would have done that, whether that would have been Marcel or
Cody.
Neves. Oh, that was Cody. If he missed that, he would have been off. But he just gets the ball and puts Barnes
if he missed
off
that, he either missed Barnes or gave away a penalty. So it's a great tackle, to be fair.
Lots and lots of near chances here. Like, this game could easily be 2-2, 3-2 Leicester. But
I think this is just first game, clinic. No one's clinical as they would like to be. It's the first game of the season. It's very finicky, but obviously Vardy took his chance really well. But I think later on the season we'll see more of these chances being put away.
Jack Fridger here saying, I think we're changing to 3 at the back. I would worry if we're doing that because, like I was mentioning, we're giving them so much space around the corners of the area. They're playing in a cross right now, but
it's a goal kick.
Raul cannot get it on target, unfortunately. But I would be scared of going for a 3 at the back because we've been weak against their wingers. We've been giving them a lot of respect and a lot of space on the left and right side of the penalty area.
I think this is where Bertrand might have been better because of his experience. I think his position, like nothing against Luke Thomas. I think Luke Thomas end of last season was superb, but I think Bertrand. Oh no, someone fell over. Wolves are on the counter attack.
Bad pass trying to get it into the middle, and it will fall.
Now Leicester on the counter attack. Luke Thomas down the middle.
Tielemans fakes out his marker, plays a through ball. It is over for Barnes, entering the penalty area. Gets tackled. Corner kick, Leicester City. Also, while the ball is out of play, I'm just going to give a quick update on the other scores around the league at the moment. So we're between the 66th and 70th minute across the board. Chelsea 3-0 up on Crystal Palace. Watford holding 2-0 against Aston Villa. Everton have equalized and are 1-1 against Southampton, and Burnley still 1 up on Brighton.
Come on, Brighton, get a goal back.
I have to admit, I expected less out of Southampton. I might have underestimated them. But
I underestimated because they've lost Danny Ings, they've lost Vestergaard. Everyone was doubting them, but they've done well. But no, Leicester have now got a corner. Vestergaard and ADT switch line up in the box. Luke Thomas is taking it.
Does not fall to a Leicester player.
Wolves boot it out. It's now gone to Schmeichel.
Looks like play has been stopped. Not sure for what. Vardy having a conversation with the referee.
Is there a VAR call?
Not
is
sure.
There a
the
penalty
referee
decision?
is smiling. This seems like it might be a little awkward. What is going on? Oh, the ball struck the referee. That's why.
Oh, okay. Thanks, referee. Cheers. I thought, where's the ball? If he hoofed that, it went to Schmeichel. I'm like, where's the ball gone? Wolves are on the counter attack though.
Oh, Traore knocks over his marker, takes a shot. Excellent save by Kasper Schmeichel.
Great save.
Strong shot, admittedly close to him, but Schmeichel does well to hold and not parry. But yeah, jumping back to Southampton for a minute, they were one of my favorites to get relegated this season.
Same. They're in my bottom three.
Holding their own against Everton, still first game of the season, but better than I expected. Especially a Rafa Benitez Everton team.
Vestergaard, that was Vestergaard. Easily got pushed over by Traore. What you got? No one can really stop Traore when he's elbowing you in the face.
I was going to say it's a testament. It's a testament to Adama's strength that Vestergaard. He's meant to be our big, solid presence in defense, and he just knocked him over like a wafer cookie. Some good play by Vardy to hold the ball. Plays in a cross. It is right to Jose Sa.
Vardy's being more of the wing this game. He's not really. When he scored, he came in off the wing. Like he didn't like. He hasn't really been down the middle this game, so that's quite interesting. But no, I'm a bit nervous now. Wolves are really into this game now. They're really looking like they're going to score. Traore's really picked it up, but we keep on getting the ball back and countering. So let's see if we can get one from this one.
I feel like I end up quoting Locks a lot from the Liverpool game, where he said that if you keep giving them chances, they will take one of them. And I'm worried about how many that we're giving them.
The quality is really bad. I can't tell. The quality is really bad. I can't tell players apart. Luke Thomas has got it on the left, couldn't control it. Wolves have got it out for a throw into Leicester.
That is correct. That was played out by Kilman for Wolves to a Leicester throw. We are inside the Wolves' defensive third, at least. Luke Thomas controlling it under pressure from, I think, Kiana Hoover. Knocked down. I think that would be a foul, and it is a free kick Leicester. So a good chance for us to play in a cross. One thing that I will say, at least for credit for that corner, we've been horrific with corners and could not beat the first man. We didn't get it to a Leicester head, but we beat the first man at least.
I'm calling it now. Vestergaard header.
You're going to call a Vestergaard header?
Calling a Vestergaard header, top right corner.
Tielemans and Thomas both standing over the ball.
Tielemans will take this, but I'm thinking
playing it short. Tielemans cross doesn't beat the first man.
Great control. Try to get back. Stop the counter attack.
Very high up the field. He's a winger at the moment. Right up in the corner flag, gets knocked down. No foul. Getting muscled on by oh goodness, who was that? That was Marsal.
We still have
Samari recovers for
free
possession. More like Greco-Roman wrestling at that moment than football, but things have calmed back down. It's Tielemans playing it to Samari. We're in the middle third. Looks like we're just going to play it back to Schmeichel, and that is exactly what happens.
70th minute, 20 minutes to go. Wolves have been the better side this half. We were the better side the first half. I still think it's on a knife edge, but we're on the counter attack with Tielemans on the front.
Oh, plays a beautiful through ball to Vardy.
Oh, good tackle again.
Good defense. And
it's a Leicester throw.
Yeah, an excellent pass as well to, or not a pass, touch as well to guarantee it be a throw instead of a corner.
I think Luke Thomas might do a long throw, maybe. No, he's going to do it short.
Nah, Tielemans is coming up to collect it. Looks most likely. Vardy also playing very close.
No options. There's no options to for Thomas though.
Plays it to Vardy. Vardy immediately marked by 2 people, and it is out for another Leicester City throw.
We need options. We need some more options. We can't. There's not really any options to throw it to.
Jack Fridger asking who's going to be in the top 6. We'll just wait for the ball to come out of the play from. Actually, there's a substitution going on.
Interesting.
Nacho is on for Barnes.
That's an interesting sub.
That sounds like a 2 at the top for me.
Yeah,
that sounds like another change in formation.
Maybe Barnes hasn't been too influential. I don't know.
Getting a bit of an ovation from the crowd as he walks off the field. But yeah, we'll just wait for this play to end, and then we can give our thoughts on top 6.
So look, Thomas has got it in the air, and DD controls it.
Iheanacho plays a through ball to Vardy. Excellent slide tackle. I think that was
the 4th time he's done that.
Connor Cody single-handedly saving Wolverhampton Wanderers at the moment, and there is a stop and play. So I'm going to quickly say I think one of the North London clubs will come back into top 6. I don't see West Ham getting it again. So I think it's going to be traditional Big 6 minus Arsenal, insert Leicester.
So you think Spurs will be in the top 6?
I think Spurs can get back in.
Wolves are on the counter-attack.
Oh, excellent play through, but
Amarte defends.
Amarte gets in there. Great pace from Amarte to catch up. Raul was in alone there. Bad pass from Tielemans, though. Ball at the edge, held by Kasper Schmeichel, and we will just take a moment.
I had to watch that frame by frame. It's a bit laggy there. I have to watch that frame by frame.
Yeah, apologies again. So due to the nature of the broadcast, so I'm watching the game here in Canada and feeding it to Jono to commentate as well. So we are getting a little bit of internet hiccups around there in case we do miss a play or a player name or something like that. That is why, just due to quality of stream.
So would you care if we win by 1-0, or would you want more than one goal to be goal difference to play any factor in this? This thing is so early in the season.
3 points above all else. I would rather just win this game than try to go for it and then end in a draw.
Yeah. Well, the current table. The current table.
I believe United will still be in first because they thrashed Leeds.
Yeah, it's Man United, Chelsea, Watford are winning 3-1 against Aston Villa. That's surprising. We're
vlog we're going to get from Ben Foster there.
We're currently 6th. So we're still top 6.
Luke Thomas under intense pressure, but holding, and then gets thrown down. I don't know who that free kick will go to because he did pull the free kick to Wolves.
Oh, I think that's been smart for simulation, but
I think it was Luke Thomas pulled. I think that was Hover. Might have been a different Wolves player. I think he pulled the shirt as he fell. Jack Fritcher saying that he put Arsenal 6th and Spurs 7th. I think those two are pretty interchangeable because, like, I could see Leicester getting 5th. I could see Leicester getting 4th. But again, it's early days. Let's give it a few match days before we start putting concrete predictions in.
My only thing is that.
Sorry, I got to cut you off to just talk about this stat. First half, 7 attempts to 3 for Leicester. Second half, 9 attempts to 0 for Wolves. So Wolves have been putting so much pressure on Leicester there. That is a poor stat for the second half for the Foxes.
Yeah, we've been. I think if Wolves don't come out with a point here, they'll be very, very disappointed. They've been a better side second half, but the only stat that matters is the one at the top left, and that is the score. And we're currently winning 1-0, but we need to keep consistent. The left wing is open. That's where it might go to.
It's just completely unmarked. This is what I was talking about, being worried about 3 in the middle. Big cross played in. Will fall to Hover on the other wing, who is, again, unmarked. Tries to play into the center. Shot will be taken, blocked by, I think that was Ndidi. Ball falls to Tielemans running up
and we're on the counter attack. That's a push.
In the back.
And
That's
a yellow card.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Required foul to stop the run, but that is a booking for Keith.
He's been poor. Hoever has given away a few fouls now, and I think he's struggling to keep Thomas under control. I think he's But he just literally just saw his
rather deliberate there. He's a very young player. So the Netherlands is my main national team. So I know Hoever is coming up through the ranks in the Netherlands. But I'm just going to double check how old he is. But yeah, he's only 19, so he is still developing. It's tough to mark him against speedier players like speedier and more skilled players like Tielemans and Thomas. So I can see why they would get the better of him and force him to make fouls. Looks as though that bounce might fall to Vardy has lost a shoe.
Vardy has lost the boot. Free kick to Leicester. You tell him made contact because he's missing a boot.
Yes. Much like a cartoon, as he runs, he gets knocked over, and his shoe was right where his foot was when he got hit. Yeah, replay being shown. Looks like the Wolves player just might have stood on the side of his shoe a little bit. Not a free kick to Leicester. Either that or we gave away possession very quickly.
Yeah, we didn't see that.
But we have re-intercepted or holding the ball in the midfield. Ball to Tielemans, plays through ball to Vardy, outside of the box. Oh, just wide. But I
thought the net rippled
there. But you know what? I will take that. We're coming forward. It is something.
We've had a shot on the second half.
I will just also say for you, John, Brighton have equalized against Burnley.
Have they? Brilliant. Brilliant. Come on. I need to maintain now. So I get 3 points for my score prediction.
Through ball does not make it to the Wolves attacker, and the ball is played back to Casper. Casper giving some guidance to Soyuncu to head to the other side.
I think it'd be really good for Schmeichel to get his first clean sheet of the season. Give him some confidence. You know, he just came back up a brilliant Euros. You know, he didn't concede in the Community Shield, so be good for him. That's a free kick. Oh, surely Soumare is just doesn't get like even if he falls over, he still has the ball. That's how good he's been. That's how good he is in the moment.
I was going to say, and Marçal, another big player. Seeing him in relation to the other folks on the pitch.
Oh,
Vestergaard gets nutmegged. Ball is in the middle of the area,
and it's cleared
so far. Oh, Soumare gets knocked down. It's with Traore on the edge of the area. Oh, and it goes wide off of deflection. Worrisome moments there for Leicester City. However, we survive, and the ball is out for a corner kick. It looks.
I want the final whistle to blow. This is nerve-wracking stuff. This is. It
was Pereira with the necessary block. Schmeichel dived already to try to stop the shot. Worrisome scenes on the edge of the area. Wolves putting a lot of pressure.
This is Vestergaard's moment. Can Vestergaard clear it?
I'm going to say Vestergaard goal header from this penalty area right across the field.
If he scores a header from this, I'll give you £1 million.
Ball is headed out, falls as far as Marçal in the edge of the third. Plays a deep cross in.
Go back in.
Over the head of Vestergaard.
Great defending from Thomas.
Excellent defending from Thomas. Oh, my goodness. Brighton 2-1 up against Burnley now.
Oh, for God's sake. My 1-1's gone.
Everton also 2-1 up on Southampton. Watford and Chelsea score still stand. I didn't say it. Nick said it, but please drop us a subscribe. We got a lot of content coming. Lots of stuff for you to keep an eye on. Schmeichel holds the header from Wolves on the corner.
Thank you. Come on, get rid. Got 10 minutes to survive.
Let's calm down. Let's hold these 10 minutes.
Would you be classed as surviving for a win, or do you think it's definitely not been a comfortable win if we do win? It's not a comfortable win. I wouldn't say we've pushed Wolves aside. No chance. Wolves will definitely be a team that's going to be, tough. They're a very, very tough team to play against. They've not been easy, but so far we've still got the lead and we're still trying to push up the field. It's countering. No,
I would say that this is about a half hour of squeaky bum time at the moment. This is some nervous stuff. Ball out to Hoever on the wing. Oh my good! Just tries to get a piggyback ride from Luke Thomas there, and it looks like Nacho comes off the ball. But yeah, Hoover there just rolls over the back of Luke Thomas there, trying to maintain possession. Nowhere.
Phil said a win's a win. It could be as dirty as unconvincing as possible. As long as we get the win, that's all we want for the first game of the season at home. That's just like, a possibility moment, hopefully, but my stream is freezed.
Oh, that's all right. I can talk to the game then at the moment. If you want to continue on that post. Nacho. No,
I've got it. I'm back. I'm back.
Through ball. Another critical stop from Connor Cody there. If Ricky P isn't my man of the match, might have given it to the Wolves player, but he's been. Yeah, I was going to say
he stopped every single through ball to Vardy every time.
If this were Wolves Fan TV, Connor Cody would be our man of the match.
Yeah, I'll say so. But for me, from Leicester point of view, I'll say Ricky P. my man of the match so far, because of that amazing run through those players to get the cross in, and defensive work's been brilliant. But Wolves have got the ball passing in their half, just slowing the game down.
Ricardo's a good shout. I would say Soyuncu might also deserve it. He's also made some crucial stops, but I think Ricardo might edge that out because some of those interceptions, some of those blocks, he's stopped probably at least 2 Wolves goals.
Yeah.
He's made more saves than Schmeichel has so far.
Yes.
Traore has it on the wing. Looks like he might be offside. Wolves' manager is incensed with that.
I think he's just shouting out tactics. He's just not happy. He wants. He's frustrated because Wolves have been dominant all the second half. They've not cancelled and they've not taken advantage of it yet. I'll be frustrated as well. But this is where, Leicester's character and Leicester's, our experience comes into play here.
And Vestergaard is also going to move up the field, and Schmeichel is going to take the free kick.
The Wolves players aren't happy for wasting time.
I'll take that. Ball back to the midfield with Traore. Tries to flick it up over Nacho. Will not do so, and I believe it's out for a Wolves throw. David S., I can kind of agree with that. It's been a little bit too pedestrian. There hasn't been a lot of urgency in the upper third from Leicester so far. No, and it's been giving a lot of respect and a lot of space to it. They haven't had the ball very much in their defense, but
we haven't seen the Leicester, that passing, fluidity we were used to, between Tielemans and Barnes and Vardy. We're not seeing that at the moment, but I like... Oh, lucky Tielemans.
An unfortunate pass doesn't get there for Tielemans, and then a very quick Wolves counter already has the ball past the halfway line. Out to
Wolves
Marcel
are countering on the wing.
Tries to play it to Traore. Gets knocked down by Vestergaard. There are calls for a penalty, but it looks like nothing is being given. A good, clean shoulder barge from Yannick Lestergard, who gets the better of Adama Traore on that.
I think that's that's all I need to say. That's not a penalty, no chance.
Yeah. Esme, I don't think Daka is currently on the field.
Daka's not on, no. So far, subs have been Madison. Who's been on?
It was Madison for Sumare. It was Nacho for Barnes, and it was Vestergaard for. Oh, who was Vestergaard on for? He was on for the left or the right back.
Paris is on for Paris. All three subs are on, so Daka will not be featuring in this game. Unfortunately.
And now Soyuncu having a little bit of a back and forth with Tielemans, plays the ball back.
This is good. This is good. Keep the ball. Calm down. Don't want to give Wolves momentum. Just
some passing triangles. Calm and easy. Ball played up the midfield. Vardy, beautiful
great turn by Tielemans. Oh, that's Vardy, that is. Sorry.
Yeah, that was Vardy. Vardy tries to outrun. I think that's Marcel again. Plays the ball off Vardy for a
and
Wolves
it's a goal
throw
kick.
In their defensive. Oh, it's a goal kick. My depth perception was off there. Good. Yet again, Connor. I think I've
Connor Cody
is
being a nuisance.
Absolutely. For all those people who like to say that Wolverhampton Wanderers rely on Portuguese players too much, Connor Cody has been the rock for Wolves this match. Wolves substitution. Let me check who number 11 is that's coming off. That is Francisco Trincao coming off to be replaced by Morgan Gibbs-White. Big hoof ball up by, I think that was Sumari. Falls to Tielemans. Plays the ball up to Nacho. Gets knocked down by either Marsal or Cody. I think that was Marsal. Oh, that was Romain Stice.
I've got Cody on my fantasy team, so...
You'll be getting some points for that, most likely.
Well, I've only got 2. It's on the bench. It's only got 2 because we scored, so...
Fair.
5 minutes to go, and it's still 1-0 to Leicester, but it is squeaky bum time. Wolves are constantly on the attack. Can we maintain a clean sheet and get the win? I do not know. This is a race.
Just going to bring up Jack Fridger's comment here for a moment. So since Leicester won the title, we've sold one player for big money pretty much every season. But that kind of seems like it's been our system. We develop players into these big money names, and when they're no longer part of our system, they don't feel like they want to keep playing for Leicester. Pass them on for big money that we can then continue to develop new players for.
Stopping you there. Wolves are gathering up.
Wolves on the edge of the area. Oh my goodness, Thomas gets knocked down. It's a shot. It is blocked.
It is blocked. Leicester survive another
ball
attack.
On the outside of the area. Plays it to, I think that is Raul. Plays the ball up and in. Oh my goodness, it is a well-played header by Maximilian Kilman.
Schmeichel is livid.
holds the ball and is giving our defense a little bit of a blow dryer treatment there.
Schmeichel is not happy. He wants more consistency from his defenders.
Luke Thomas went down a little easy there and gave us a big risk. Wolves playing very strong football here and just out-muscling a lot of our players. Amarte just got thrown to the ground there for Kilman to take the header.
So if we win this, I'll be very, very happy. Do I think it's deserved? First half, yes.
I said it was deserved at the end of the first half. Yeah, I would say Wolves have earned a point out of this game. Raul falls to the ground, calls from Hoover for a free kick. They will not get it. And
Vardy on the counter-attack.
He has 2 defenders behind him. Raul coming up behind him. He holds the ball despite the slide tackle.
Got the ball.
Tries to play the ball to Nacho. He will not get there. Oh, my goodness. NXG Jaden, I'm going to assume that you're a Wolves fan. If Wolves lose this, I'm going to be mad. I don't blame you. Wolves have been class the second half. Traore has the ball coming into the area. Vestergaard catches up to him. He plays the ball about...
Great defending!
And Schmeichel again giving some what for. But
Luke
also
Thomas,
some congratulations to Luke
defending.
Thomas, who stops the one-time shot from Morgan Gibbs-White there. Oh, my goodness. 2 minutes left until full time, and we need to hold on for all 120 of those seconds.
It's no longer playing for the win. We are literally holding off by a knife edge. We are hanging on by a thread. We are just begging for the whistle to blow for Wolves to go home and us to get the 3 points, but it's not going to be easy.
I think, is that Traore? No, Traore is not playing the corner in.
No, Troy's entered the box.
Yep. Ball falls well to Raul. He doesn't play a good shot, but it falls right back to him. Oh, my goodness. He is in alone. Is he offside? Oh, the ball was in the net.
My anxiety level just went
offside.
Wolves officially scored, but not legally.
Of all people. Connor Cody.
If I was a Wolves fan, I'll be absolutely livid.
Oh, yeah, Connor Cody. Could he have come back onside? No, Connor Cody completely offside. His whole body past the last man.
Yeah, he's offside officially.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, I'll tell you what, Nick
to go.
Sweating buckets. I think everyone in a blue shirt is. We'll say while we have the comical goal kick, on this day in 2012, Jamie Vardy scored his first ever Leicester goal. And fun fact, he's a legend.
He's a legend. That's not a fun fact. That is the fact. He is an absolute, not just Leicester legend, but Premier League legend. Vestergaard, great tackle.
Build that man a statue when he retires.
We need to.
This is the most I've sweated, and it's 8 degrees where I am. Nick, just give us a reminder.
Troy, they're inside. Counter attack for Wolves.
That's Keanu Hoover. Excellent block by Yannick Lestergard.
Again by Leicester. Leicester throwing bodies in front.
And Soyuncu gets pulled down, gets the free kick after some appeals, and there is a lot of complaint from the Wolves players. Morgan Gibbs-White having some words with the referee. We're probably going to have to see a replay of this, but Soyuncu gets us a free kick in our area. So, Nick, you're
That
in
is
Australia.
90 minutes. How much stop is there if they are?
Yeah, it was Soyuncu getting knocked over by, I believe that was Gibbs White.
Gibbs
He is
White
not
feels he's
happy that a free kick was given. I don't believe there's any VAR decision ongoing, but yeah,
No.
it is a free kick.
It is past 90 minutes. How much added time is there? I think it'd be 2 minutes, I think.
I haven't said yet. Fabio Silva is on for Max Kilman for injury time, of which we have not yet seen how much there will be. We are 30 seconds into it, however much there is. Keon Hoover has the ball under pressure from Vardy. Vardy knocks Hoover off the ball. Free kick to Wolves. And Vardy is not happy.
3 minutes of added time. We have 1 minute into that.
Looks like Vardy is going to get booked for dissent for kicking the ball into the stands after the free kick was given.
Vardy, I've got points off you for fantasy. Oh.
Yeah, Vardy shoulder barges Hoover to the ground and then kicks the ball. We are 1 minute into 3. So yeah, just to confirm for you football stories, 3 minutes added time. We are 1 minute into it already. Ball with Raul. Again, being given space. His cross will not meet anyone. Falls to Tielemans. Plays the ball up to Vardy, who will bring in that pace again. He's being chased down by Hoover. Plays the ball to Iheanacho, who breaks into the Wolves' third.
I think
has 3 players between him and the goal. Will take the shot up and
it's
over. The goal.
Minute and a half to go. We're in.
Football stories. Your bet is on Leicester. Well, it's looking good at the moment. We are into the dying seconds. Less than 90 seconds remain in this match, and there is some time being taken with this goal kick. NXG Jaden, losing hope with your team. This game has been promising from Wolves. I'll be honest, I didn't expect this much of a challenge. I predicted a 3-1 at the start of the game. You've got a bright season ahead of you if you can play like this.
Vardy's knackered, you can tell.
Yeah, he's on the ground at the moment. Nacho getting some applause. I didn't realize it was a corner kick. So yeah, we were just going to play it in the corner. Nacho going to hold it, plays the ball off the defender for another corner, and we will waste as much time as we can. We are into the last minute, 20 seconds in. We will take our sweet time with this corner kick. Tielemans plays to Nacho. Nacho fakes the cross and now just holds the ball out for a Leicester City throw-in. 30 seconds to go in this game. Yep, West Ham Fan TV, I think we'd agree on that. Wolves have been the better team. It has been a tough second half. But Leicester just doing enough to hold on. Some critical interceptions. There are 9 seconds left. The ball is out for a Wolves throw-in. Referee, you better take a look at your watch. Ball is thrown into the ball at the field.
Come on, ref, blow the whistle. Blow the whistle.
Ball is in the middle third. We are over the 3 minutes of injury time. Might be adding a few extra seconds for how long we took. Fabio Silva trying to chase that down. So Soyuncu will let that trickle out. The fans are on their feet. It is a goal kick. 20 seconds over the allotted injury time. Schmeichel will just putter this ball around. Carmen, hello. Good to see you again. If you can, try to come on at full time. We'd love to hear from you. Casper, again, just taking his time. He's only just set the ball in there. Big grin from Brendan Rodgers as he watches this goal kick come to the midfield. And that is the final whistle. Leicester City 1, Wolverhampton Wanderers 0. Jamie Vardy having a bit of a squat. You can tell he is a little knackered. That was a heck of a game. Full credit to Wolves, who played a full-hearted second half. They came for the throat and very nearly took it 2 or 3 times.
But they always say the best teams win these sort of games. You know, you can't be a top 6. You can't be a top team without winning scrappy games and winning games that don't play well in. And we didn't play well this game, and we got the win.
One thing that I will say for Wolves' performance, though, I'm just pulling up the stats here. Shots, 9 for Leicester, 17 for Wolverhampton Wanderers, and yet Leicester had more shots on target at 5-3. I'm just going to put the link into chat. Wolves fan or Leicester, please join us for a little post-match discussion. We would love to take the time to chat with you about how this game went, how our seasons are going to go, how the results were from the other side, and hopefully we're going to get some input from Phil and the lads down at the King Power as well. Phil will also be getting some fans' views that you'll be able to see on other videos around the channel. So if you want to get some live views, make sure you are subscribed to the channel.
So scores on the doors for the afternoon games were Leicester 1, Wolves 0, Chelsea 3, Palace 0, Watford the 98th minute, and they're 3-1 up against Aston Villa. Not expected. Aston Villa expected to win that game with ease, and it's not gone that way. Everton come from behind to beat Southampton 3-1, and Brighton came from behind to beat Burnley 2-1. So, Aston Villa have just scored. It's now 3-2.
I can only imagine what must have happened in that game to warrant 8 minutes of injury. I'll tell you what, it's a penalty too that Danny Ings has just converted for Aston Villa. David S. coming in with a forensic analysis of why we were so poor here. Too pedestrian. Last week versus City, so much better. No progress. I don't know that I would agree that there's been no progress. I think we definitely showed Wolves too much respect in that second half. I think that we didn't have as much pace possibly, but we still had productive play, and I would say that our defense has still been more solid than we might have seen in some other games, where we did see a couple wayward passes, some from Tielemans, some from Amarte as well. We were able to recover where we made mistakes. Critical blocks, Schmeichel was solid in the back, and at the end of the day, the better team gets the better result.
Wow. I'll say the team. What I did like about Leicester's game is every player was determined to keep that clean sheet. Every player was every player was playing for each other. You know, everyone was like giving high fives. Schmeichel was buzzing for Luke Thomas, doing that great off the line clearance. You know, we play as a team, as a family when we need to, and we got over the line in the first one of the season.
I'd love to get chat's input on this comment from Nick Moore. Good performance from Jamie Vardy. I would say this is some of the best Vardy that we have seen since probably the middle of last season. He's been making good runs, thwarted really only by Connor Cody making some critical and risky tackles. But very, very positive performance from Jamie Vardy, I would say. And I think he's going to prove to be a real threat this season.
And there's another fun fact. His celebration, he decided to run over to the Wolves fans and howl at them. So that's also what he's done. Typical Jamie Vardy. But no, he was brilliant. Big shout out to Ricky P as well. Soyuncu for me was brilliant. Amarte wasn't the best. He gave away some silly passes that could have easily have made us lose that game. But overall, I think we defended. First half, we were brilliant. Second half, we defended really well and maintained a clean sheet.
Yeah, I think Peter Davis summed it up pretty well. Leicester always keeps us on our toes. You're never going to, if you ever want to get your cardio, put on a blue shirt and watch a Leicester City game.
Yeah, definitely.
Looks like we're being joined by Ben. Ben, if you could, Ben has dropped off. Might be an internet connectivity issue there, but please, if you are watching and you want to come give us some views, you want to chat with us by voice, please click on the link and give us a join fee. Thank you very much. It's been a lot of fun to do the watch along, and hopefully we'll be joining you a few other times this season as well. Looks like we're going to have a bit of a rotation of hosts for these watch alongs, so not going to be us every week most likely, but you'll be seeing some more of us hopefully this season.
Yeah, I won't be on every week, but the games that we can't go to, well, definitely Elijah can't go to, that we'll have some people on to take over. So
yep. Dave Gavin coming in saying we will get plenty of games like this, but if we can play under pressure and get 3 points, then so be it.
Exactly.
You raise a very good point there that we crumbled under pressure a lot last season. I think Tottenham is a perfect example of that towards the end of last season.
Yeah, last season we just fell apart, but the first game of the season, everyone showed their commitment. Everyone was just, diving, literally was sliding in front of the player to stop them from taking the shot. So 3 points in the bag, not the most convincing performance, no, but as Dave said, it's the games that we win that we didn't play convincingly that you got to be proud of, because there will be games we do play amazingly well and don't win. There'll be games we play other games we play really rubbish and we win. So, you know, a win's a win. No matter how we played, a win's a win. So overall, mate, I'm buzzing.
Santosh Kumar coming in saying that Amarte was his man of the match, making some crucial blocks. Definitely a little bit of a back and forth with Amarte there, because he did make some passes that definitely got the heart rate going a little bit. So I'm not sure that I would give him man of the match, but he definitely deserves a pat on the back and some credit for some critical blocks and interceptions that he made. Wolves tried to play our game. They tried to play some critical through balls, some speedy forwards, and Amarte was critical for that. So one of the things that I'd love to hear from you in the chat is, who was your man of the match? Jono and I, we had a little bit of a conversation towards the end of the game. I think Ricardo is a great shout for that. He also made some critical blocks, but also was just running up and down the pitch, back and forth. He was part of our attacks. He was part of our defense, and just felt like a key part of the team.
Yeah, for me, my man of the match would be Ricardo Pereira as well. I think Ricardo was just brilliant. He's blocking his assist alone. You know, Pereira, he ran through two players and then just crossed it to Vardy. Brilliant. Second half. Yeah, second half. I think was a bit different, but I think overall, Ricky P for me gets man of the match.
Someone's giving the Big Bad Wilf MOTM. I love that as a nickname, especially against Wolves of all teams. But yeah, he was pretty solid in midfield. Definitely held the ball pretty well. I think we did see like some passes go astray from Tielemans, and like didn't see that as much from Ndidi. David S coming in saying that his man of the match is Jamie Vardy. Stretched the defense all the time outside of a great goal, hustled all day long. And again, I think that's one of the great things that we've seen from him this match, is that we're starting to see the Jamie Vardy of old, who has been playing well, playing fast, and scoring the goals that we need. Dave Gavin coming in with the €5. Thank you so much for that super chat. Well commented, guys, worth a $5 at least.
Cheers, Dave. Really appreciate it.
Cheers, Dave. Like we said, we do this because we love the club and we love to be able to share it with all of you. So thank you guys all for tuning in and for being a part of it with us.
Exactly.
Lawrence Tidy also giving man of the match to Ricky P. Matthew Bond giving it to Jamie Vardy.
There's three players for me who could get it, and that's Soyuncu, who made some brilliant tackles. Vardy, because obviously he's got the goal and he's just worked his socks off. And Ricardo Pereira for me, I think out of those three players, would be man of the match. Sumare played really well when he came on. He got a few good passes, a few good tackles. The players where I wasn't very impressed with, I think you already might know this, but Perez didn't really do anything for me. The one thing he did well was he drew players away from Ricardo for that cross. And Amarte did make a few really good blocks. But Schmeichel's a good shout. He made a few good saves. But no, overall, not a convincing performance, but a win nonetheless.
I think you mentioning Sumare there is a good way for us to segue into how are the new signings? Because I think one person did comment a little bit earlier. I'll see if I can dig that one back up. But someone said, how did Vestergaard get bodied? Which he did. Traore did knock him to the ground on one of the through balls, but I still think it was a solid performance from him. I think he did exactly what we were talking about pre-match, where he came in around like the 55th, 60th minute, solidified the defense as much as we needed him to. It was a tight game, but we came out with it in the end.
But don't forget, he's only joined 2 days ago. He's not been like, training with us all like, pre-season. Exactly. So give him some slack. He did really well for the time he came in. And, if you're a player who cannot be knocked over by Traore, I want to know who you are, because if he's running with you and he knocks you over and he's running with you, you're going to get knocked over. So, but no, I think he played really well. After a few more training sessions with us, he'll be well in with the team and, up to strength, up to knowledge with all the rest of the players.
Absolutely fair. Yeah, I don't think you can really blame someone for getting knocked over by Traore. Like if I were a center back, I'd probably be like folded in half in a wheelie bin at this point.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think it was a good showing by Vestergaard. Sumare, I'd say nothing worth writing home about either way. He wasn't bad. he wasn't legendary. I think he is fitting in well with the team and did a good job. I think he's going to be a good part of the team moving in through the season.
Yeah, exactly. He showed consistency. He shows what he can do. We've also got, I don't know why Madison came off, maybe a bit of an injury, but we didn't miss him. I couldn't see the difference between Madison and Samari coming on. So that just shows that he has quality that we don't, in the middle of the part, we didn't really miss him. So that just shows potential he has.
One other thing that I'd like to talk about is that we changed our formations a few times during the game. I actually have available to me that we switched to a 3-5-2 apparently for the end of the game after all of our substitutions. How do we feel about the way that the team has been lining up like that? Because I, for one, am worried about putting 3 at the back at any point, because I would say we learned from Wolves there, because they also played a very wide midfield. They took advantage of us on the edges of our penalty area.
Our left-hand side was being run ragged. They were running down our left-hand side, their right, all second half. So we need to maintain 4 at the back to not let that happen, because other managers go, oh, that's one weakness we potentially could have down the wings. So we need to really tighten that up. But apart from that, I think defensively was solid, obviously, because we got a clean sheet. I think Traore could have been a bit more clinical, but overall, I think solid defensively. And Vardy only needs one chance to make a difference, which he did.
Exactly. And honestly, again, I think that might go back a little bit to our discussion about Ricardo for man of the match. We were talking about his defensive performance, but I think one thing that went a little bit overlooked there was just how gorgeous his assist was on that goal for Jamie Vardy, dancing through the defenders and just playing a perfectly placed cross that the Wolves goalie just couldn't get to.
No, Ricky Puig showed his strength. He got past 2 defenders, still managed to cross it, and Vardy does that amazing flick to top left corner. It's brilliant.
We'll also quickly weigh in on this comment from Santosh Kumar saying Luke Thomas held his ground, and I think he does deserve some credit. So he came in rather unexpectedly from the U team during our injury crisis last season. I think he made his debut in the 3-1 win against Liverpool, and he looked promising there, and he's continuing to look promising now, and I think he's going to be a big part of the team over the coming years.
Yeah, I think so. I think he was just brilliant. I think the more times he gets played, I think the more experience he will get, and the more chance he will be in with the team, and I think the more chance he will grow. Same as everyone else, the more other players like. Oh, we got some people in from.
Live from the King Power, we have got Phil. So I think, Jono, you and I will hop off screen for a little bit, and we'll hand over to Phil for some live views at the King Power.
Yeah, we can hear you, Phil.
Can you hear us?
Yeah, okay. Thanks, chaps. Right, yeah. We're down here with Tom. What do you reckon, Tom?
Well, we said we'd take a scruffy start to the season, and in patches it was very scruffy and a bit end-to-end like a basketball game. But look, we've got over the line. We've got the first win of the season. Jamie Vardy's now scored in 7 games in the opening weeks of the season. What's up there with Shearer, York and Cole. Another stat for you there from that one. But look, we'll take the win, and we now move on to West Ham away. But it wasn't a sparkling performance, but there was a great determination towards the end. What last season I probably would have.
Views on that.
We dug in when we needed to. We defended well. Marty were fantastic. Luke Thomas were fantastic. Them two for me, top contenders for man of the match. I know Marty would have made one mistake, which led to that Traore chance in the first half. Reeve rekindled it, and he put it right. Defensively well today. Leicester defended when needed. We fought until the end and dragged out the result which we needed, which were the wins. So I'm happy.
Yeah, Locks, I thought Marty did have a pretty decent game in Vestergaard when he came on. I thought looked solid.
Yeah, I mean, Amati obviously gets some stick, whether they'd bring Vestergaard straight in or not, but it was nice to see him, come off the bench, secure the win, and, I'm really happy with the squad where we are right now, with Vestergaard coming in, and I think we've got a solid squad. Amati, Luke Thomas, they all had a brilliant game. Vardy's back! Vardy's back! Come on, Vardy!
I mean, Vardy, John Sink is with us as well.
Hi.
Before the game, I was saying that I didn't know if Vardy would get many goals this season or not, but you know, he probably looked. I thought he looked one of our best players today.
Yeah, I mean, what a great goal as well. We were jumping around for quite a long time after that. Yeah, I mean, obviously you look at Wolves had too much possession for me beginning of the second half, and obviously they had chances which somehow Troy put one wide when I was sure he was going to score. So I suppose from that point of view, you look at it and think, well, it could have been a different score, but we held out for the 1-0. I really wanted that second goal early in the second half to kind of secure it a little bit. But yeah, Vardy, you know, Nacho came on, made an instant kind of link up with him as well. But overall, you know, Samari came on and he's in there, doesn't he? Getting his legs in and stuff like that, pushes people around. So as somebody just said, the squad looks really good. Be a win, but I was hoping we'd get the second goal to kind of calm it down a little bit. So I noticed Vardy was giving that kind of sign to his players, you know, please calm it down. But we all go home smiling and look forward to West Ham a week on Monday.
It's Jake, isn't it?
It is,
From
yeah.
Talk Sports.
Yeah,
right?
correct.
Yeah, Jake, thanks for joining us.
No problem.
I guess one of the questions I would say is, how good do you judge that performance when you don't really know how good Wolves are? I don't know if Wolves are a top 8, top 10 team this season, or are they going to struggle with relegation? Because they looked all right, I thought Wolves did.
Yeah, I don't think they're a relegation side, although I don't think they're quite as good as what they have been in previous seasons. They actually impressed me today. I thought it was going to be a lot easier for Leicester. They were dangerous, they're big, they're physical, and I mean, if Adama Traore could bloody finish, you know, if he had a cross, if he had some kind of end product, the guy'd be one of the best players in the world. Like, he's really, really impossible to defend against, isn't he, when he's in full flight?
He's a power.
He is. He's an absolute beast. He really is. But I thought we did well. I thought we coped with him well. I thought Dan and Marty played well. I thought he came in and did well today. I know he gave the ball away and they nearly scored, but he recovered from that, you know, and I thought Leicester just about edged it. I'd say we just about edged it and deserved 3 points today.
I mean, he had a great chance in the first half, Traore, didn't he, Tommy? You're in the cop. I mean, he did everything right and then pulled it.
Look, we all know about Traore. He's quick as anything. The thing he lacks is probably what's costing him going to a bigger club, is that finishing ability and creating chances. He's got all the power, pace and trickery in the world, but he just doesn't offer that threat to me enough to go out and say he's worth the 40-50 million what people say, because he had the golden chance to, you know. I think Vardy's just something in the 91st half. Leicester were dominant enough. We created enough chances. We got the goal. But the only chance really Wolves had was down to our own mistake of giving the ball away and then letting Traore through and goal. And for me, he should score that. But look, it's about Leicester today. It's a winning start to the season. What's massive. Good to see some of the new faces getting on the pitch. And we now prepare for another tough game away at West Ham a week on Monday. A tough place to go, even though they haven't signed many players. You know what you're going to get at West Ham.
I mean, Jake, Vardy looked like he's got another season in him. That would be my takeaway from today, which before the game I thought, is he or isn't he? But
Yeah, no, there's a few positives. Vardy, back to his best. You know, for anyone thinking that he was past his best, or if there's anyone who's missed playing in front of fans more than Jamie Vardy, I mean, that showed everything, did it, today, in front of a full crowd. He absolutely bloody loves it, doesn't he? And he was brilliant today. I think Conor Cody's going to have nightmares, you know, waking up, looking to his left, and he's just going to see Jamie Vardy there. I thought it was brilliant. Ricardo Pereira, though, the same. You know, I think I was worried about him back end of last season, thinking that player who was one of the best right backs in the league, has he lost it? Has he back? Again, I thought he was brilliant, and he made that goal for Vardy. And I thought Luke Thomas was outstanding as well at left back. You know, I thought there was lots of positives today. So Vardy, yeah. Ricardo Pereira, superb, and as Tom says, it's great to see some new faces coming in. They all looked pretty settled, didn't they?
Go on then, Jake, before we let you go, man of the match today.
I would just give it to Jamie Vardy, but, you know, mentions to the other two.
Yeah, Tom?
I've got Luke Thomas, 19, came in again, solid performance down that left-hand side, in a 4 at the back, and then went into a wing-back role and did his even as good. But, yeah, Luke Thomas today for me.
Let's go, Lots. Who's your man of the match?
Luke Thomas, mate. I mean, we've spoken about squad depth before, but now we've got Luke Thomas, we've got Ryan Bertrand, so James Justin when he's back. But yeah, Luke Thomas edged it for me today.
Yes, mate. You want to come and give us your views? What was your take on the game today?
A bit all right. Wolves look good, solid, and also I'm not sure about Perez, but Perez trying a bit too much. But I've been trying practicing that code on winger for us.
I thought Perez had a good game, to be fair. I thought certainly in the first half he played decent.
He played all right, and also Madison didn't look well today.
No, I agree. I don't know. He came off and he didn't look quite right, did he?
I'll probably call something, his back or something.
Who was your man of the match, mate?
I'm going to give it to Ricardo Pro at Sandy and Vardy.
Yeah. Brilliant. Before I let you go, you've got a YouTube channel, haven't you, mate? Go on, give it a shout out.
Call mine Still Fox.
Brilliant. All right. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you again. Come on. Let's get you in, Jack, before we let you go.
Daniel Amati for me. Gets so much criticism before games. They don't really give him a chance. They say Marty's on the team sheet and Leicester fans are just like, no. Oh, why is he in the team? He's proving why. You know, he's working hard. He's doing everything Brendan asks of him. And he's performing well. I know he made that mistake in the first half for a Traore's chance, which really Traore should have scored. But Marty, you know, he held his own with Traore in that second half, defended well, won the ball, and defended overall. So yeah, Daniel Amati for me, absolutely fantastic this game when called upon once again.
Brilliant there. So, you go on, Tom.
Can I just say one thing about Jamie Vardy? He's got to stop winding the away fans up.
Well, yeah.
What is it? Look to the Wolves.
Was he doing a wolf like thing, or was it a fox thing?
It was the Wolves. It was the Wolves to the Wolves. Celebration, ran to the corner and did the old Wolves looking to the sky. A little bit naughty Vardy again, but hey, we love it really, don't we?
Why not? To be fair to the Wolves fans, they were in good voice today.
Class fans, mate. Everywhere they go, Wolves are class. Most of Midlands clubs, Villa, they bring a good fan base to John. I'll be honest, you know, it was quiet in the ground for me, Leicester, and there were times in the first half it was noisy enough, but the second half it was, I don't know if it was nerves because we were clinging on a little bit, but it was quite quiet for me. Come on, Leicester fans. That place used to rock when we were winning the league. We've now got a team who finished fifth twice in a row. It should be rocking even more. We've won the FA Cup. I'm looking on that screen. We've won an FA Cup. This place should be rocking week in, week out. Brendan Rodgers is giving us good football to watch now. So let's get behind the boys a bit more and really give them that energy they need.
It certainly was. It was loud at times from where we were sitting, but I know what you mean. But the Wolves fans came in big voice. I think that's what it was. Elijah, if you and John are watching and you want to click back in now, Elijah.
Hello.
Hopefully you can hear us. I mean, what? Yes, mate. Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Elijah, are they there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Thanks. I think that's it from down at the ground. I hope the Watchalong has gone well.
Yep. Thanks, Phil. It went pretty smoothly up here.
And we're going to leave you now. Okay.
Sounds good.
So we'll let you. Yeah, brilliant. We'll let you finish off the show, and we'll see you later.
Thanks, Phil. Take care. So that was Phil down at the King Power. So again, thank you guys all for tuning in. Let's get some last minute views and comments in. How do we think our season is going to go? How do we think Wolves' season is going to go? And who do we think were some shining performances from that match? I definitely think we're going to be seeing some of the best of Jamie Vardy again this season. It was very promising to see the way that he played this match. And honestly, I think I might have underestimated Wolves a little bit in the pre-match. I think we can definitely see a strong, at the very least, mid-table season from them. Carl Cole's coming in and saying that we were good to hold out for the win, but Wolves were good. I would definitely agree. This was a game of two halves, and we definitely saw some strong play from Wolves at the end. Reese, sorry that you didn't get the chance to come in and say hello. I'm assuming you were probably down by the King Power with Phil. But yeah, definitely, if you don't get the chance there, tune in on video yourself or come in and always say hi in the chat. Other than that, let's see. I cry every time Chalobah scores. Today is, I know why Tuka continued his contract. So you're talking about the Chelsea game, most like a very strong Chelsea match against Crystal Palace. So actually, I think that might be something that we can do a quick talk about. Let me just quickly get that up on screen. How do we think the Premier League is going to go? Who do we think is going to be strong? Also, just a quick shout out for Vestergaard for man of the match. Did well. 24 hours after becoming a Fox, comes on and puts in a solid performance needed. Jack, you've got a full table predictions on your channel. You think you've gotten a few wrong already. Share some of those specifics. Let's talk it out. Because I think that we did see a very, very positive first half from Leicester. I think we can see a pretty good European push from this club if we can hold that form for 90 minutes across multiple games. Who do we think is going to go down? I'll be honest, I had a gut feeling that Southampton might. They took a lead against Everton, but couldn't quite hold on for it. I'm not sure how positive I feel about them and their season, but get your views and your comments in. There's still 60 folks watching. Please get your thoughts in. Feel free to talk to me, and let's get some conversation started on that. A very solid showing from Watford as well, to pull off a 3-2 win over Aston Villa following a long added time at the end of the game. Could we see them stay up? I know there's been a lot of predictions that have been saying that a lot of the promoted teams will go right back down. A strong showing from Brentford as well against Arsenal. I think we could well see them go up. Do we think they might be able to pull a bit of a Leeds? Jack Fridger coming in saying Norwich last, Watford 19th, 18th, Burnley. Do we think Burnley might go down? They didn't hold on to their final lead that they had taken against Brighton, went on to lose 2-1. Ross coming in here. What a win. Was platitudes. Mini gold when we scored. Scared the life out of people in front of me. I'll tell you what, Ross, I have a similar story that happened to me with the Community Shield because I was out of town at the time and was just watching a live feed on my phone. And when we got the penalty, I was in an elevator and I called out very happily that we had scored, and definitely might have gotten the attention of some folks in the area. Playing mini golf at the time. Very well played, Ross. Well, if you get the chance, Ross, come on just for like a couple quick minutes before we call it a live stream. I think we are starting to wind down a little bit, but yeah, first Premier League match day. We are over halfway done it now. Just the Sunday to go. Would love to talk about where people think the Premier League is going to go. I'm going to put the link in one more time. We'll give a few minutes if they want to come in and join the stream and talk about how the league is going to shape up. Otherwise, definitely get your thoughts in. Dave Gavin saying that I think having a crowd at the games will have a different outcome from last season, but Leicester fans need to get louder. Yes, please let me know what the atmosphere was like at the King Power. So Jono and I, we have to keep the game on mute while we do a watch along so that we don't trip over our words because we're hearing commentators in our ears. So we have no idea what the crowd sounded like. But from what I've heard, at least from previous Leicester games when I did watch with the audio, was that Leicester fans can get loud when they need to, and I think definitely with a full packed house at the King Power, I think that can definitely get behind the fans and make some noise. Jack Fridger here putting in his full Premier League predictions. Leicester 5th is a very, very popular prediction that I've seen, and I think it's entirely possible. But I would love to see us challenge for that 4th. Also seeing Brentford surviving. And Spurs and Arsenal 6th and 7th respectively. Ross chiming in, Ricardo and Vardy were outstanding. Yes, it's good to see how Ricardo has recovered. A very, very solid performance in both defense and offense from him. And I think we are starting to see the Jamie Vardy of old coming back. Jack Fridger coming in with a prediction that Man City will win the league. Seems a reasonably safe bet. Liverpool 2nd, pretty bold. Sean saying a good game. Sean, if you get the chance, feel free to come onto the stream. Would love to close out with a quick chat with you, but a great, great match to start the season. Ivan Nylander coming in from Sierra Leone, a very impressive game, and we kept the win going. Yes, it was great to see the fact that we held our own against a bit of an onslaught from Wolves in the second half, but we managed to keep our quality, keep our composure, and those critical stops saved us 3 points. And then, of course, I think Vardy coming in with howling at the Wolves fans. I feel like he just wants to create something that'll get shared on Instagram once a season. First, it was the Palace Eagles. Now it's the howl. Who knows? Maybe we'll see some visiting fans doing that at Molineux in the return leg. But yeah, similarly, it's great to see Vardy get the chance to make some of his greater celebrations come back because he is back on the score sheet. Which was a bit of a monkey that we're glad to see get off his back. And hopefully we'll see him play a little bit better, get some more balls collected to him. He won't have Connor Cody marking him in every single game. So I'm hopeful for the next few games. Let's take a quick look at who Leicester City are going to be playing in our next few matches. As next up, we will be playing West Ham, Norwich, and then Man City in the league. How do we feel about those next few matches? I think West Ham and Norwich are going to be a good lead up, a good chance for us to sort of ease in to the season. Ivan Nylander asking, did Vardy deserve the yellow card? I think so. I don't want to be biased and say and just say no because he's Jamie Vardy. The whistle had been blown. He kicked the ball out of play. We see players get booked for stuff like that all the time. I think it's reasonable that Vardy was upset about it, but you can't just kick the ball away once it's been once the play has been stopped. So I can see why he got booked. Jack Fridger, now looking at my analysis of Brentford Arsenal, I think Brentford will push top 15 and Arsenal will drop from the top 6. Arsenal have been struggling to get Europe. I mean, but we mustn't forget that they have no European football this season, which means that they'll be able to put more focus into their Premier League, which might give them a bit of an edge over Spurs because they are at the very least going to be playing weekday football in the Conference League. Vardy is a big fan of the Wrestling Legends thing. That might be where some of that howling came from. Sean, you think it was a pen? I'm not so sure about that. I think before Soyuncu went down, I don't think there was any foul, and that foul would override anything that happened afterwards. Confidence will be important. So coming away with the 3 points and knowing that even when we're put under that much pressure, we can hold on for that sort of thing, I think is going to be very, very big for us coming into matches in the next few seasons. And play Red Dead Redemption 2 if you haven't. I'm an advocate for FIFA myself. Always love to play, keep a little bit of soccer going or a little bit of football going when you're not on a match day. Ross being very bold here, saying they won't even make the top 10, never mind top 6. I don't think they're going to be challenging too much for top 6, but you know what? Let's not write them off yet because the last thing we need to do is underestimate them and then let them run away with a win in one of our games. Jack Fridger dropping West Ham to 9th instead of pushing for Europe again. Those weekday games might start to push them pretty hard. That wouldn't surprise me because it is their first time back in Europe for a good few years. I want to say since about maybe 2015, 2016, most likely. Ross, I'm just glad Adama doesn't know where the net is because he had so many chances today to score. He very well could have scored the opener on beautiful, beautiful through ball that had him all by himself, and he just played the ball maybe a foot wide of the net. I was stunned that he didn't manage to score that. I thought it was 1-0 the moment that he had the one-on-one. We may have been a little bit of burglary in Leicester for us to take away all 3 points, but yeah, luck might have been involved there a little bit. Reese, good performance today. Based on that performance, top 6 minimum this season. For us, anything less is a failure. That's strong, but I don't entirely disagree. I think there's a lot of fans that will be very disappointed if we don't make top 4. I think we need to have a little bit more leniency on that. But at the very least, we need to be pushing and right up there for European football. And 3 points on the first game of the season is a great, great way for us to start that. Dave Gavin, I think Connor Cody was the guy that prevented us from scoring at least another goal, if not 2. Could have been a different game. Connor Cody put in a performance today, put in an absolute shift. Made some very, very critical interceptions, as well as the fact that he really came in and stopped and blocked a bunch of shots. I think he's going to be a bit of a guiding light for Wolves for the rest of the season if he can hold on to that form. My team's ace 20th to 13th could go down. The midfielders kept relaxed in the 80th minute of the game. I was so worried until that. Yes. So that I think is something that Brendan Rodgers will have a bit of talk with the team about, is going to be ensuring that we can continue to stay strong throughout the game and ensure that we are going to be keeping the momentum that we had in that first half through the entire match, accounting for the fact that the teams will come at us differently. Again, we really let Wolves get into the flanks, come right up to the corners of our penalty area. We gave them a lot of respect and a lot of space out there. It's going to be very important for us to cover those up if we want to take points from future matches. I think Leicester have a B team that is a mid-table team. Well, that's honestly one of the things that I'm most positive about for us coming into this season is the fact that we've built our depth. And that is going to be critical for us to hold on to the season because that was what came to bite us and dropped us into 5th at the end of last season. And then finally, I think you got one more from Reese. Ndidi a bit complacent on the ball, but no major issues. Madison did nothing but worked hard. Both fullbacks had a good game, all around a good day at the office. Yeah, there's going to be room for improvement. I think Madison, I don't think he was bad, but he wasn't legendary. I think he could definitely do better in future games. I think Perez could do a little bit better, but I don't think that he deserves any hate that he might get at the end of this match. I think he's still doing fine. But I think that we're in a very good spot and the players are doing very well. Finally, I think I'll close out with Ross's comment saying, just to take it in, Derby was 1-0 up until the 91st minute and lost 2-1 to Chris Butterley's Peterborough. Yeah, some exciting results going on around the leagues. But at this point, I'm just going to say thank you all for tuning in, and make sure that you drop us a like, drop us a subscribe. Let's get more Leicester fans tuning into Leicester Fan TV, and doing things like that really helps us grow the channel and get more people to get recommended to our videos. Let's give a bravo to Casper. He handled the Damas shots. And with the likes of Dewsbury Hall, Ward, and Nacho, we have great rotation, and our under-23s are promising. Yes. It's a good time to be a Leicester fan. And I think we can all be pretty happy with the result and pretty happy with where we're going to be going from here. So thank you all very much for tuning in. Keep an eye on this channel. We're going to have fan shows coming up all through the week, and hopefully more watch-alongs coming on match days. Until then, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time.
Thanks for watching Leicester Fan TV. Thanks to our sponsors, ADT Taxis, Everards, Pukka Pies, Pink Car Leasing, Leicester Riders, Hollogram, The Fox's Arms, Peter's Pizzeria, and Hope Against Cancer. Make sure to follow us on all of our social channels at Leicester Fan TV. Visit our website, leicesterfantv.com.